Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Del Valle ISD's Veterans Memorial Stadium for tonight's District 26 6A home opener between the visiting Bulldogs of Bowie High School and your Del Valle Cardinals. Tonight's game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the University of
Set 5, 85, ready, hut.
Welcome to the Schlotzsky's broadcast of Bowie Bulldogs football on the Vype Live Broadcast Network. Bowie Bulldogs football on Vype Live is also brought. Welcome to the Schlotzsky's broadcast of Bowie Bulldogs football on the Vype Live Broadcast Network. Bowie Bulldogs football on Vype Live is also brought to you by Ally Medical Emergency Room, Austin Oaks Hospital, Cabo Bob's, the Carlson Law Firm, Chick-fil-A, Circle C Orthodontics, Firehouse Subs, Jersey Mike's, McLean Family Dental, Mighty Fine Burgers, Nance Orthodontics, Pokey Joe's Barbecue, Rudy's Barbecue, and Waterloo Ice House. And now, along with producer J.C. De Leon and color analyst Stephen Foster, here's the voice of the Bowie Bulldogs, Dee Hanson.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight here from Veterans Stadium as the Bowie Bulldogs play their first district road game of the season at the Del Valle Cardinals. You are joining us here along the Vype Live Network, brought to you by Schlotzsky's. My name is Dee Hanson, alongside my broadcast partner, Steve Foster. Bowie lost their first game of the season last week, our first district game, at least, 44-6 at the hands of the Lake Travis Cavaliers. The Bulldogs are opening up district play 0-1 for the first time since 2019. It was an uncharacteristic performance on both sides of the football for the Bulldogs. Both the offense failed to score 28 or more points, and the defense failed to force a turnover for the first time this season. Bowie is still playing short-handed on offense with no sophomore sensation running back Reese Moreno or speedy wideout Owen Ball expected to suit up tonight. They're not playing. This is still a very potent offense and scoring around 34 points per game. The defense will look to get back to their opportunistic ways that has seen them force 8 takeaways already this year. Tonight, both sides of the football for Bowie will take on a much improved from last year, especially Del Valle Cardinals squad. The Cards are 2-3, having also opened up district play with a loss when they fell to the Austin High Maroons 23-6 last week. Del Valle hasn't won more than 3 games in a season since 2019, and they will look to second-year head coach Todd Patman to help guide them to another level this year. The offense for the Cardinals averaging 23 points per game, a vast improvement from last year's over 6 points per game output. Much of that success rests on the shoulders of junior Alex Marcantoni, the senior running back also, and Cannell Hodges. The Del Valle D, they've held opponents to 23 or fewer points 4 times through 5 games this year. Bowie hasn't started 0-2 in district play since 2009. They will have the opportunity to even things up in district tonight against a team in Del Valle they have never lost to in 14 consecutive meetings. Next up, we'll run through the starting lineups and get to the kickoff of tonight's contest as the Bowie Bulldogs tackle the Cardinals here in Del Valle under the Friday night lights of Veterans Stadium. This is Bowie Bulldogs football presented to you by Schlotzsky's along the Vype Live Network.
to play. Coach Michigan
If you didn't know already, Schlotzsky's at 5601 Brody Lane should be your catering go-to. With a menu filled with delicious catering options, Schlotzsky's has all the bases covered. With a delicious lineup of sandwiches, soups, salads, pizzas, desserts, and more, we've got just what you need to make any party or event great. Just visit our site, choose from the menu, and schedule delivery. Your order will arrive fresh, on time, and ready to be devoured. Schlotzsky's, it's a mouthful.
Austin Oaks Hospital offers specialized inpatient and outpatient psychiatric services for adolescents aged 12 to 17 and adults. With a dedicated women's unit, it caters to females seeking psychological support. Our women's inpatient treatment serves ages 18 and above. Adolescent outpatient programs provide evidence-based interventions to prevent hospitalization or aid post-hospitalization transition. The partial hospitalization program offers intensive care with psychiatric visits, multiple daily groups, and family therapy. We provide confidential, no-cost, 24/7 level of care assessments without requiring referrals. Walk-ins are welcome. Learn more at austinoakshospital.com or call 512-440-4800.
Back at Veterans Stadium, D. Hanson joined by Steve Foster here in the Del Valle ISD. The lone high school so far, Steve, for Del Valle, but they do have one that's going to be starting the construction in a couple of years, as Del Valle and Lake Travis are both of the two highest enrolled teams in District 26-6A. Bowie coming into this game 4-1 on the season, 0-1 in district play after that loss against Lake Travis, 2-0 away from home. Del Valle, a surprising 2-3 start to the season. A lot of close games throughout that mark, other than last week against Austin High. This is a team in Del Valle that might even hearken to look at around 4-1 also going into this game, with that loss against Austin High being that lone one, and 1-1 here at home. I only bring that up. This is a much improved Del Valle squad that went 1-9 last year, 1-7, averaged 6 points per game. They were, not doing so hot last season, but now they have full stands. Their home game here against Bowie, as the Bulldogs come out on the field from right to left, that is south to north in front of us, and are looking to really get back in the thick of things when it comes to district play against a team they've never beaten in 14 meetings. 14-0 is the 15th meeting between these two schools, and the way that Bowie has dominated this series, you can just look back at the last 3 games. They've outscored Del Valle 132-7, and though Coach Todd Patman in his second season is looking for a little bit different show, as he's shown already in 5 games so far this year.
I think it's a mindset, D. And, again, you got to build a culture. And I've been talking about that for the entire season, whatever the level. And so I think Coach Patman's culture is now starting to now permeate through his players.
I'd love to get into their starting lineups. I didn't get any the entire week. I really pestered that athletic department, including Coach Patman, so I'm sorry if I can't give. I can give you key players. We'll highlight them throughout the course of the game, Steve. But
okay.
Coach Patman, in his second year, he's well known in this area. He was at Bastrop for 13 seasons. He also coached at then Reagan for about 3 seasons. He was at Vista Ridge as the defensive coordinator for about 4 years. He has been around. He's been coaching for about 27 seasons. He brings an added layer of notoriety and confidence that this program desperately needed, having had some pretty good attrition when it comes to head coaches. You only had Coach Acosta here for a couple of seasons before he went off to Arkansas Pine Bluff as their offensive coordinator. So we'll see if that ends up adding some more stability to a program that desperately needs it.
Yeah, you're right. And it is basically how your head coach is. That kind of determines the attitude of your team. And, Coach Patman had the opportunity to be around him for a little bit. I think he has infused this Del Valle Cardinals team.
Veterans Stadium holds around 4,400. Below us is the home stand, and they are packed. Across from us, a pretty good contingent of Bowie fans. Not a huge drive down 71 to get here. You also, to our right-hand side, have a beautiful scoreboard. It's a huge Jumbotron. It's around 3 or 4 years old, one of the newer scoreboards in the area. Del Valle just come out on the field from left to right, and they are clad in all black, white letters, numbers, and white helmets. Bowie in their white tops and black bottoms, the black letters, numbers, and red trim, and black helmets. And you have two teams that are red, black, and white, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult than normal to discern throughout the course of this game. Our officials, referee is Paul Watkins, umpire is Van Abbott, head linesman is Wade Hill, line judge is Caleb Blaylock, and back judge is Tom Malone. It's around 90 degrees, although the sun now has gone down behind us. 22% humidity. And there is a bit of a breeze. When I first got here, around 2 hours ago, it was kicking up around 10 miles per hour, although I went out in the field around an hour ago to talk to the coaches, and there really wasn't much wind to speak of. I don't think it's going to be much of a factor here this evening. And we're getting shaped up for our national anthem. And we will get to the starting lineups here for Bowie here shortly. This is a Del Valle squad that is predicted to come in second to last in the district, right ahead of Aikens. But do return 6 offensive starters and 5 defensive players from a year ago. And their last district win, other than Aikens, was in 2022. They beat Austin High in the last game of the season in overtime, 37-31. And now trying to knife into what is already a very top-heavy district, where a lot of people feel, especially the departure of a great Anderson team, which had a phenomenal win last night, and a burgeoning Johnson squad, both leaving. A lot of people feel that the Austin High Bowie game at the end of the season, last game of the regular season, might determine who gets that fourth and final playoff spot if everything shakes out the way people think it will. Del Valle's trying to get their name in the mix. This is a time to do it tonight, if they're going to. And now, here's our national anthem. It's actually the school alma mater first. We'll get the national anthem here in a second. Bowie will be without, once again this evening on offense, Owen Ball and Reese Moreno. And so it'll be on the offensive line, Martino, Walls, Meagle, Ortiz, and Beachy. Owen Langdon will be at tight end. Evan Drangy, Trevor Watts, and Rowan Wells, who leads the team in almost every offensive receiving category. 19 catches, 342 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had his game-long reception last week against Lake Travis of 69 yards for a score. One of the most athletic touchdowns we've seen in quite a bit of time at Burger Stadium. Of course, Crustello at quarterback has 11 touchdowns against only 4 interceptions, and he's creeping up at 900 yards already through 5 games. Now, we will have our national anthem coming up. Not a lot of highlights from the defense from last week against a high-powered Lake Travis offense, who had 2 touchdowns of over 50 yards or more alone. That without Wyatt Barnes, who is back in the mix at linebacker. And also, Joaquin Tijerina is also back. So the defense is pretty much 100% coming in. And they will need it against a much improved offense. For Del Valle, it's averaging over 23 points per game. And they've scored no more than 2 touchdowns, though, in all but 1 game this season. So some of that's been the defense getting them in position. Cards and Bulldogs getting set to ready to go here, and the kickoff coming up shortly. And now a finally well-lit Veterans Stadium. Steve, if you had some keys in the game here for both sides, let's start out with Del Valle very quickly first.
Well, you mentioned they have returners back and they're playing well. I think they want to see if they can get Bowie's offense off the field and get some 3 and outs and possibly create some turnovers, and then try to score more than 20 points, because you know that Bowie Bulldogs are going to score tonight, and their defense, as you mentioned, are getting some folks back in key positions for this game.
Last 3 games for Del Valle, they've only scored over 21 time against Leander back on the 13th, a 29-17 win. But since then, they held to 14 points against Coppers Cove and 6 against Austin High. What out for Bowie?
Well, Bowie needs to just kind of do more of what they've been doing. You know, it's a big roadblock when you play a top 10 team like they did last week. I just think if they can finish drives, they're very competitive against a lot of teams in this state. Against Del Valle, don't do anything fancy, but maintain possession of the ball and get their offense off the field too.
See how now the coin toss happens. We'll go down here. Both teams now with their respective representatives, 4 on each side. And the toss happening right now. I see Tello in there. He's talking with the white cap, and it looks as though Bowie won the coin toss and elected to defer. If I had to, we haven't seen a pad on the. There we go. Yep. So Bowie wins the coin toss, elects to defer, and you're going to defend the north end zone. So Bowie will have the ball to start out the second half of play. The obligatory, if you're taking on a team that you have done very well in the past, that has also struggled in their own past, getting off to a strong or quick start is always one of those first hurdles you want to try to make happen, no matter if you're on Bowie or Del Valle's mindset.
No, absolutely. And I think even if Bowie would have, come out with their offense, I think it's more advantageous with your defense. They can show aggression.
Sure.
And I think you want to have the ball taken away and stop that Del Valle offense and then get your playmakers on the field.
The 3 teams that are starting out 1-0 in district play, Dripping Springs, Lake Travis, and Austin High. Westlake was idle last week, and they took on Aikens last night with a W. So now they're 1-0. You have 4 teams at 1-0. Bowie, Del Valle, and Aikens all at 0-1 to start out in district. And Bowie trying to change that here tonight. Will kick it away from their own 40-yard line, going left to right. Drangy to do the honors. Special teams for Del Valle will have a stacked eye look with the lead man at the 15, and then you have a man in the middle, and then going towards the back end around the 7, so you can't key on any particular individual. Here's Drangy to kick it away from left to right, angles at right-hand side. He'll be hitting it around the 21. It takes a hopper, and it's fielded and then brought down. They're going to give him forward progress past the 15 to the 17-yard line on the attempt on the return. And that is Damari Hunt-Tyler with the return. And now it's 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line for Del Valle on the near side hash going right to left. Alex DiMarconi is the starting quarterback, a junior, 6'1", 195, wearing number 9. And he will be having in his backfield many times Bradley Dent and Cannell Hodges. Dent is to his right-hand side. It's a pitch right-hand side to Dent. Breaks it back inside, eludes 2 tacklers. Gets up to the 20-yard line. Maybe give it to the 21. And that 5-yard gain, the Cardinals will take that every single time on a running play. Picks up around a 2nd and 6 to go here for Del Valle. Bradley Dent Jr. Shotgun again. It'll be a sweep left-hand side and brought down from behind. They're going to get a flag on the play, which could be a face mask. Although I would say inadvertent. That a sweep to Donovan Douglas, the junior, or the senior, excuse me. But that should be wiped out on what was a very good play. I think that was Sam Segura coming through from his nose guard spot.
Well, I like that. I like the fact that he beat his offensive lineman, but he may have gone up a little too high.
Personal foul. Are there any incidental face masks anymore? Do those exist?
No.
It's a personal foul every single time.
Correct.
And that will also then wipe out, which was a huge loss on the play, 3rd and long. It'll be 1st down and 10 at their own 37 on the near side hash for Del Valle.
It shows that the defensive line for Bowie can beat this offensive line, at least so far, but they can't tackle high, D. That's always going to be an issue.
Pinkley, your lone receiver, left-hand side. They've got bunch right-hand side and offset eye. Marcantoni out of the shotgun. Man in motion. It'll be a handoff in a misdirection. And no real gain there. Hodges with the carry. And he is met by a wall of white for a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 at the 38. Factor in a couple of key players in there. Barnes getting in the mix, along with also Joaquin Tijerina.
Good to have him back.
Nice. Trips right-hand side, 1 left. A low snap back, fling out right-hand side, caught in the flat. Catching the edge and getting the 1st down, I believe. Yep, they're going to get it all the way to the midfield area. There's a flag on the play. Donovan Douglas showing you his speed, but the flag is all the way back at the 34-yard line. This could be a holding call against the Cardinals, which would wipe out a huge gain and a 1st down flare-out.
That almost negates the personal foul for the face mask.
If you want to do net on that,
yes,
you're exactly right.
And it was tough because
it is holding against Del Valle, so a penalty apiece to start out.
Dustin Farenthold fought through the block of the wide receiver on the far side, and the only way that you keep him from making the tackle before that good gain, D, was to hold.
To right, to left again. Shotgun for Marcantoni. Goes through the middle and incomplete behind his intended receiver, which was Kevin Meeks. He's well covered. Had Meeks been able to hold on to that, they would have been short of the 1st down, and a miraculous catch on top of that. But he had good coverage by Tremel Banks, the sophomore corner, on him. And that brings up a 3rd and 19 for Del Valle at their own 28-yard line, near side hash.
Good coverage in the secondary. And always lurking, Reagan Cooper in the middle.
Tony now checks his wrist for the call. Trips right-hand side, will hand it off, misdirection again. And tripped up and brought down for a tackle of a loss on the play at the 24-yard line. Bradley Dent couldn't find any room to the left-hand side. And he'll be brought down by Brady Miller. And it's now 4th and 23. The Cardinals had a breath of life in that drive by a personal foul, but other than that offensive line has had a hard time blocking any of the defenders across the front 3 of this broken stack. The defense for Bowie, and we forced a punt. High snap back, bobbled ball. It's at the 6-yard line at the 5, and somehow kicking it away as he's drilled, and a knuckleballer will go out of bounds. We're going to mark this. Unbelievable. A lot of chatter at this one now, getting a little chippy, but miraculous kick for Omar Punts. And they're going to mark this at the 50-yard line. Steve, that could have been the ball at the 6-yard line. 1st down and goal to go for Bowie, but instead at the 50 based on that really heady play by the punter.
Well, it was a heady play because, again, so far Bowie's been tackling too high. If they go low, waist or lower, you're absolutely correct. That ball's on the 6. Still a short field.
Pistol formation, and Tello out of shotgun. He has Wells to his right-hand side. Handed off Matabella, left-hand side. Breaks it back in at midfield. Brought down and no gain on the play. The defense there, stuffing that one out for the Cardinals. I'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Well, that play took too long to develop going to the far side. If you're going to go off of that B gap, anywhere around that off tackle, it's got to be done quicker than that.
Fair and Langdon out left and stacked over there near right-hand side. Bobble snap, the ball is loose. Cardinals trying to get on top of it. We'll see, no official warning here or indication from the officials, and they're going to say retained by Bowie. That's a yard loss in the play at their own 49, and this is not the way that Bowie wanted to start in their first 2 plays on offense.
Every now and then, Cruz Tello wants to get into the play a little bit too quick, takes his eyes off the snap, and then tries to go for whatever motion, either a handoff or a fake for play action. He doesn't do that, and we just, we're not going to have a lot of...
Tello now will throw on the run, and it will be incomplete. Trying to hit Langdon on the near side sideline at around the 41. Had to climb the ladder. And now it's 4th and 11, and Bowie will be forced to punt now. And the offense is struggling mightily to get anything going to start out this game on both sides of the football. Back to punt is Wells, and he launches this one high, end over end kick, and it's pretty well distanced as well at the 21, and it will be touched up at around the 20-yard line. And good coverage downfield, Steve, as trying to get underneath that ball was Braden Hayward, the returner, and he opted not to because there were too many white jerseys around him.
Well, and it was a good high kick. You have Rowan Wells giving you some hang time so his coverage team could get down there for that punt.
1st and 10 for Arcantoni now in his 2nd offensive series. He's got 2 backs out of the shotgun. One receiver left-hand side, 2 right. Ball in the middle of the field. Arcantoni will hand it off up the middle. And lowering the head for a modest gain. Del Valle will have a gain of around 5 on the play. And that will bring up a 2nd and 5. Joel Jordan with the run. And now another carry in the A-gap again. Essentially same play.
Del Valle
Jordan with the carry again is going to be swallowed up for much less of a gain, around 2. It makes it 3rd and 3.
Del Valle trying to get a good push up front. Get this offensive line pushing against a very good defensive line showing by Bowie so far. They have to establish some type of run game or at least semblance so they can get into their passing game.
Pinkley out far left-hand side, in the slot to the left is Douglas. He is speedy. Before he's seen that in a 3rd and 3 from their own 27. Play clock at 5. Handoff is disrupted by Mason East, who comes through and makes a tackle for a loss. He leads the team in that category now with 6 on the season. Lost about 5 on the play. A run by Dent goes nowhere. Brings up a 4th and 8 and another punting situation for Del Valle. Their 2nd already of the game in as many offensive series.
Well, it's tough enough to block Mason East, but when you don't block him, that's what you get, a loss.
Here's Ponce. We'll see how this exchange goes for him. Last time he bobbled the ball and just got it away before he got tackled. Drangy deep to receive. Ponce angles it far right-hand side, hits it around midfield, takes a friendly Cardinal bounce inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Before he is tucked up by Carlos Salazar, and it will be 1st and 10 Bowie with great starting field position. Their last offensive series at midfield went back a yard, didn't go anywhere. Now they start at their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10, going left to right. Their second offensive series in great starting field position.
You can cure a lot of ills if you find one of your receivers downfield and let them run for a while, D.
Has been a good connection between Tello and Wells. We'll see if that can happen. Langdon has been missing a bit from offense. He has 11 catches. He is a weapon. 2 receivers, left-hand side, 1 right-hand side in Wells. Be a handoff up the middle, and Montabella this time follows blockers, gets to midfield, 5-yard gain. They bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Good push up front for the offensive line for Bowie. And that's going to set up, I think, again, a huge mismatch between these quick receivers for Bowie and the secondary of Del Valle.
2 right-hand side, Wells far out right, and then in the slot to the right is Langdon. 2 back set, Delmark right-hand side, and Montabella left-hand side. The shotgun with Tello. 2nd and 5, handoff and a delay up the middle is Delmark, I believe, near the 45-yard line. 4-yard gain for Joe.
I like that 2-back set.
Makes it now 3rd and a very short one.
You have a lot of options with 2 rushers of the ball that really can get you 4 or more every time they touch it. That means good blocking, though, up front by this offensive line.
Nice to see the patience there by Delmark. He stopped a little bit just for a split second to let those blocks happen. Offside eye, left-hand side out of the shotgun goes to Montabella, and he will be tackled right at the 45, which is just enough, I believe, the way they mark it. Yes, for a first down, and the officials are going to go ahead and say move the change. Coach Patman is not, well, he asked for a very quick conference with the line judge. And
well, he's coaching.
He seems okay with that.
He's coaching, but I tell you, again, good push. And
good tackling, too.
Yes, because if those 2 tackles weren't made in these last 2 running plays, both Delmark and Montabella could have been running for a while.
Watch for Jeremiah Robinson, number 34, the 6'1", 260-pound senior. He is a force. Play action. Tello going right-hand side. It is caught by Wells near side of the 25, 20, brought down from behind inside the 15. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. We'll see. I don't know. 10, make it the 10. Wells somewhat beat his man, Steve. He also had a player fall down on that coverage. It made it a little easier for him to be wide open.
Yeah, well, he set up to the near side corner here, acted like he wasn't part of the pattern, and then broke to the sideline, and receiver
trips left-hand side, handoff goes up middle, and now right-hand side, here's Montabella. Helmets are flying off of players. Montabella, does he catch the end zone? Yes, he does. Into the end zone from 11 yards out. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Again, that's the same off-tackle play that Montabella picked up a first down that Joe Delmark got 4 yards on, and right here from the 10 after a 35-yard pickup, pitch and catch from Cruz to Rowan Wells, Montabella from 10 yards out.
Montabella with now a team-leading 7 rushing scores on the season. Hard to believe that he went all last year without a rushing score, and now he has 7 already. A lot of motion, and flags fly. The extra point by Drangy is good. And we'll see. It should stand, as I believe there's some offsides across the line of the Del Valle Cardinals. It is offensive or defensive offsides, and the extra point will stay. 7-0 Bulldogs now with the first score of the game, leading here at Del Valle against the Cardinals. 3:56 left in the first quarter play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
If you didn't know already, Schlotzsky's at 5601 Brody Lane should be your catering go-to. With a menu filled with delicious catering options, Schlotzsky's has all the bases covered. With a delicious lineup of sandwiches, soups, salads, pizzas, desserts, and more, we've got just what you need to make any party or event great. Just visit our site, choose from the menu, and schedule delivery. Your order will arrive fresh, on time, and ready to be devoured. Schlotzsky's, it's a mouthful.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
3:56 left in the first quarter play. D. Hanson joined by Steve Foster as the Del Valle Cardinals are hosting the Bowie Bulldogs' second district game here in 26-6A. Steve, we saw the offensive sputter on both sides in their first offensive series. Del Valle couldn't get much going in their second one, but Bowie able to find Rowan Wells in a key conversion, get down the field into red zone territory, and Montebello took care of the rest. A short kick angled from left to right at the 15-yard line. It's upfield. Now the Cardinals have it up to their 23-yard line on the return. And that is Caden Nunez, the junior. And now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals in their third offensive series already. And they have gone, it feels like, backwards more than forwards.
Well, great push, as you've mentioned, by the defensive front three. And then the tackling. And then you get a guy like Mason East coming free from that linebacker second level to force a punt. And then the Bulldogs take the ball and go all the way down the field.
Fully healthy group here for Bowie, finally, for Darren Pittman in his 8th season as a defensive coordinator. Segura, Doherty, and Lang across that 3 front linemen. Here's a keeper, zone read by Alex Marcantoni, the pretty big quarterback. I mean, he's almost 200 pounds at 6'1". He's just a junior, but he has some size on him, and he's able to use that with a little bit of speed on top of it to get a 5-yard gain up to his own 29. 2nd and 5. Trips left-hand side. That's the long side of the field. Marcantoni now will hand it off. And really has to take that ball away from Bradley Dent with the carry about 2 yards. That brings up a now 3rd down and around a long 4 to go at their own 31.
I tell you, Kevin Meeks, he's the guy that can really go. And the senior now, if he can get the ball in his hands, he's electrifying.
And he is just out to the slot to the left-hand side, Steve. And he has Pinkley out to his left. 2 receivers right-hand side. Looking that way on a quick slant. It is caught and then blocked and then incomplete. Great coverage by Tremel Banks, who came right behind in a textbook swat from behind Pinkley, the intended receiver. Had that been caught well enough for a 1st down around the 42, and Del Valle's going for it at their own 31-yard line. 4th down and a long 3.
Don't jump.
Quickly the line here. A little bit of movement there by Segura. He gets back in time.
Don't jump.
We'll see if Del Valle is just trying to draw the Bowie off sides, or we get a quick punt by him. Marcantoni, that could happen as well. 5 on the play clock. They're not doing anything here.
Don't jump.
And Del Valle's not going to, if anything, they'll take the delay game?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, because Segura almost cost Bowie a 1st down.
I understand, but I would have called a timeout. It's the first half. Why take more yards?
It's tomato. 5 yards from the 31 to the...
It's high school football. I'll take any yards I can get. I haven't seen anything out of 99 that makes me feel that he's, Michael Dickerson or anything.
I love the Seattle Seahawks reference.
And UT reference, by the way. So I know my area. Drangy's deep to receive at his own 40-yard line. He had 1 bobbled snap by Ponce, and he also bobbled a little bit the second one, able to hold on to it. High snap back. It's a fake. Brought by the up man and nowhere to go. That did not fool many of the Bowie Bulldogs, Steve. And they were ready for that one.
No.
Maybe 2 yards, 3 yards at the most on the run by Hayward. And that will end up, you take the penalty and then you go for the fake. That's interesting.
Well, maybe you would believe that they would have to kick the ball because they took the 5.
Yeah, you talk about mind games going on right now. Neither of them worked. And the ball now at the 28-yard line. Bowie 1st and 10 in deep in Del Valle territory after scoring their last drive on an 11-yard touchdown run by Montebello. We'll look for another score before the end of the quarter.
This could be a 1-play score, Bubba.
1 receiver near side in Langdon. 2 out left. Shotgun for Tello with Montebello to his left. Montebello gets the carry. Huge hole left-hand side. And that looked a lot more promising as I had thought. But still, down to the 21 goes Montebello, and he's about 3 yards shy of the 1st down, 2nd and short.
It's a good run. Great hole on the left side between the guard and the tackle, and they just
Walls and Martino opening things up.
They sure
Two
did.
seniors over there.
you'd have got at least 5 on that one, D.
Yeah, I would have. I would say opening of the C's. Willie the up man now, and Langdon in motion from right to left. Wells out right inside. Langdon out in the slot to the left now after the shift. Hand off. Note Delmark was the intended runner, and a quick slant right inside. It goes to Wells, and he's unable to hold on to it. And pretty good coverage on the play by corner Demondrick DJ Nunez, the senior.
Well,
And he gives a little shove at the end there on Wells.
I'm going to tell you this. I mean, I saw it right in front of me. Wells would tell you he should have caught that pass. He had inside position against a diminutive defensive back, and I'm just saying that because it's true. There's a huge size difference between the two.
3rd and 3 now. Man in motion from left to right. Goes to Matabella, has the edge, left-hand side, and he'll skirt in for 6. Easily untouched from 21 yards out. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Well, if you're looking to your right and the ball goes to the left, and a great seal block by the offensive line on the far side. Matabella just actually ran a nice little turn of 21 yards, untouched, into the left side of the far end zone.
That's where the misdirection really did fool the defense, and a lot of just glitz and glamour on the front end. And that was a simple run to the left-hand side. Drangy pushes it through and gets hit at the end. There's no flag on roughing the kicker. The extra point is true. 14-0 now is the lead for Bowie, doubling things up with 1:52 left in the first quarter against Del Valle. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
If you didn't know already, Schlotzsky's at 5601 Brody Lane should be your catering go-to. With a menu filled with delicious catering options, Schlotzsky's has all the bases covered. With a delicious lineup of sandwiches, soups, salads, pizzas, desserts, and more, we've got just what you need to make any party or event great. Just visit our site, choose from the menu, and schedule delivery. Your order will arrive fresh, on time, and ready to be devoured. Schlotzsky's, it's a
At
mouthful.
Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
All right. I think the Cardinals got away with one on that last special teams play, going right into Drangy with no penalty call. The extra point is good, though. Drangy missed his only opportunity last week against Lake Travis, but he has looked very good in 2 opportunities here to start out the night against Del Valle. And Bowie leading 14-0 on the strength of multiple yard gains on rushing plays to 11 and 21 respectively for Matabella. And here is the kick by Drangy from left to right. It's short, fielded at the 9-yard line, brought up midfield to the 15, 20. Special teams down there now, and then going nowhere is Hayward, who brought it up from all the way across from the far side to the near side. Trying to make something on the edge, and that will bring up a 1st and 10 for Del Valle at their own, it looks like 18-yard line. I was wrong. It was Donovan Douglas on the return. And now it's 1st and 10 for, again, the all clad in black Cardinals in their 4th offensive series, Steve. They've not really been able to do much. They found a little bit of consistency on the ground in the A-gap, but aside from that, haven't been able to do anything.
Yeah, you're right. And also, of note, the kick coverage team of Bowie firmed up and shored up from last week, staying in those running lanes and then closing down the gaps for the return men.
Mark Antonio will be joined by Hodges in the backfield as soon as the ball is set. The scoreboard has completely now been turned off. And they're going to move the ball back. I guess there's a penalty, Steve, on the play, which brings it back all the way to the 9-yard line. So it's 1st down and 10 from their own 9 for Del Valle with 1:41 left in the first quarter. No explanation on the I got at all. Here is a handoff up the middle. And again, the run goes nowhere, stuffed at around the 10, maybe a yard gain by Hodges. They'll bring him a 2nd and 9. Mason East with the stuff up the middle. And we've seen Mason really get into some grooves. He already has a tackle for the loss in this game. The clock will run at 1:15 left here in the first quarter of play, and Del Valle is not in any kind of hurry.
Mason East is fearless. I tell you, he attacks the backfield, and you got to love that because it creates such a disruption.
Hasn't really had to call Reagan Cooper's name. He's on the back end of the defense. Hasn't really had to make a play. Here's another handoff, and a nice run right up the middle. As soon as I say that, a monster gain on a 2nd and 9. It goes all the way to the 27-yard line for a first down. Easily the best offensive play of the game that stood by this one by Hodges again. First down, Del Valle.
Looked like the defense on the second level just shot the gaps in the wrong gaps and actually created a little bit of a crease and a good run and a first down pickup for Del Valle.
Brady Miller back out of that right end spot. Very active junior. It's first and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Trips right-hand side. A keeper by Mark Antoni, and then he is met and driven back by the aforementioned Mason East. A bear hug to drive back the pretty big junior quarterback. A 1-yard gain up to the 29.
Mason East is just as big. And Mason East is coming with a lot of fury. And when you stand up a guy that size being the quarterback, as he is, great tackle.
Mason East drove Mark Antoni south on that last play. Zeros on the time gets us to the now second quarter of play here from Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Del Valle Cardinals trail at home against the Bowie Bulldogs 14-0. We'll switch sides. We'll see how that second quarter plays out. It's a big one for Del Valle as they finally have some momentum on offense. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Making a decision about what to eat can be hard, especially when you're on the go. Did you know Chick-fil-A helps you save time with easy-to-order options on the Chick-fil-A app? Plus, with every qualifying purchase, you'll receive points towards tasty rewards. Order your favorites through the Chick-fil-A app and pick them up at the Chick-fil-A South Mopac to cheer on the Bulldogs to victory. Let's go, Dogs!
Back to action here at Veterans Stadium. Dee Hanson again joined by Steve Foster, also J.C. DeLeon, our on-site producer and engineer. The Bowie Bulldogs leading 14-0 against the Del Valle Cardinals. Both teams 2 games into district play here at 26-6A, both coming off of losses from last week. Del Valle against Austin High and Bowie against Lake Travis. 2nd and 9 from their own 29-yard line. Del Valle coming off of that last play, by far one of the best runs they've had, best offensive plays in the game so far. Cannell Hodges trips right-hand side, and another handoff up the middle. They have found something that works here. Another run up the middle, gains around 8 on the play. Hodges again before he's twirled down for nearly a first down run. It's 3rd and 1 now for Del Valle at their own 37.
What they're trying to do and doing successfully, that being the Del Valle Cardinals, is double teaming the nose guard, Sam Segura. And they're winning that fight, so the A-gap between the guard and the center has created some running room for the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals are taking their time. 10 on the play clock, and they're finally getting to the line. Trips right-hand side. Hodges stays in at running back. 3 on the play clock. 2, 1, 0 on the play clock.
Oh,
and that's a flag. That's another. Was there a timeout taken here first?
No, but
we'll see. There's a flag at the 40-yard line on the other side of where the back judge is. This is a delay of game. It should be. Nope, they're going to call a timeout just before the Todd Patman will keep it here. That would have been the second delay game of the evening already for Del Valle, but they took a long time to get that offensive play in.
It didn't make sense. And then if you get the ball to the line of scrimmage and there's 5 seconds on the play clock and you're not knowing, I'm shocked that there wasn't even the quarterback's awareness to say, man, I got to call timeout. You don't want 3rd and 6, inside your own 35.
Unless you're going to fake a punt. And 2 timeouts left here for the Cardinals. And
I digress.
Here in the first half of play, what I don't understand is what the big to do would be on your play call here. The last 2 runs have been right up the middle with Hodges, and they have not been stopped.
If some's good,
So
more
you
is
might
better.
as well just do that on a 3rd and 1.
Absolutely. Nothing fancy. Get you 1 yard and move the chains.
Hodges comes back out on the field. He's no bigger than 5'6", 5'7". He's got those thighs like tree trunks. Reminds me of a Darren Sproulsy kind of look to him. And he will get the handoff up the middle, and he is going to get enough for a first down. Initially, he got hit pretty hard, Steve, but rolled off of it enough. His inertia takes him about 1.5 yards upfield to the nose of the football, right at the 39-yard line for a first down. That was close.
Yeah, and that was a good run, though. Finished it off just enough to get past the sticks.
Trips right-hand side, 1 out left, shotgun. Marcantoni will floor it out right-hand side, caught at the 35-yard line, upfield spin move, and then finally blasted down as Douglas. And, boy, he has some athleticism to him. But he is hit pretty hard there by Tramel Banks, who has been wildly active from his corner spot.
Well, that was a team effort near side to us.
Barenthold and Banks out left-hand side covering their respective receivers. Got hands on hips a little bit here. The Bowie defense been out on the field for a little bit of time. It's 2nd and 6 after that flare out right-hand side. Marcantoni back again, looking right now. Goes to the middle of the field, and it's caught. Settling in that zone and going upfield. A nicely designed play to Kevin Meeks with his first reception of the evening. And now, for the first time, the Cardinals have the ball into Bowie territory at their 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Marcantoni now has it out of the shotgun. Handoff up the middle. And that will be maybe 1 yard at the most. In fact, I don't even think that's going to be called that way. Maybe 1/2 yard on the carry. And that will bring up a 2nd down and 10 here for Del Valle. Joel Jordan back in, senior running back. And then he will come out after 1 run, and Bradley Dent will come in for him.
Could be a passing situation here, D.
2nd and 10 now. Del Valle have an opportunity here to keep this drive going, and it will be. And then it will be a throw out left-hand side. It almost dropped, and then nice run upfield. Is Dent again, and he comes out of the backfield with really nobody on him and able to make a couple of players miss before he's brought down. Still shy of the first. It's 3rd and around 3 to go here on the far side of hash for Del Valle. And their best drive of the evening so far.
Yeah, started on their own 9-yard line. They're across the midfield, and they have an opportunity to pick up another first down. Heading south here at Del Valle.
I mean, there is a group on the near side sideline, the long side of the field, of a trips receivers way away from the ball. And now it will be a keeper. Marcantoni has the first down before he is brought down, about a 5-yard gain on the play. And Solis will bring him down, but stretch that field, and the quarterback keeps it right-hand side.
Good choice by, as you said, a sizable quarterback. All he needed was 9 feet. Got a lot more than that, especially on a 3rd down play to keep this drive going.
One receiver out left-hand side is Pinkley. 2 out right-hand side. Now out left-hand side in the slot is Douglas. Marcantoni on a 1st and 10 from the 37 of the Bulldogs. Will have it out of the shotgun, hand it off right up the middle again. And it's a steady dose of runs up the middle by Del Valle. That one by Jordan again. And then flare out passes on the sidelines. Not a lot of upfield motion here, but Del Valle wants to keep their offense on the field as long as possible, keep the Bulldogs off the field.
I like that strategy.
And they're doing it. 2 left, 2 right. Jordan stays in at running back left-hand side with Marcantoni out of the shotgun. Douglas in the slot to the right-hand side. Here's a pass, middle of the field, tipped in, incomplete. East got that right paw up. Ball hung up there just for a little bit. Nobody else had a play on the ball for the most part, but that did disrupt the timing. Ball intended for Douglas around the 22-yard line. Had he caught that ball, Steve, that might have been 6 points.
I think Mason East had that ball sneak up on him just a little bit because it was to him more so than anyone else, at least, on that last play.
3rd and 6 now. Big down for both teams as Del Valle tries to climb back into this one, down 14-0. Handoff goes out and then brought down for a 2-yard loss. Mason East in on the stop on the play by Jordan, who tried to find a crease behind his guard but just didn't see anything, trying to break it back out, and East said, I don't think that's going to work for you today.
Well, he just fell in behind that pulling guard going towards Bowie sideline and just swallowed up the rusher. Now 4th and about 7.
Second tackle for a loss in the game for East. His 7th of the season, a loss of 1. It brings up 4th and 7. And Del Valle going for it at the 34-yard line of Bowie. Here's Mark Antoni ranging right-hand side, throws on the run, and it will be incomplete. Good coverage by Banks again. They're going to say that hit the ground and was not retained in possession by Del Valle. On the near side sideline, Caden Nunez, the receiver, the intended receiver. And there'll be a turnover and downs forced by this defense that really did a good job coverage down the field. Steve, what do you think about the play call there by the Cardinals?
I think that was a good play. Okay. I just think that ball needed to get out of the quarterback's hands a little sooner, and I think the receiver might have had an opportunity to be athletic enough to stay in bounds.
Well, Bowie now has 6:29 left in this second quarter. They finally get the ball. And it will be a handoff Montabella, and he will follow blockers all the way to the 39-yard line. 5-yard gain again for Montabella, who has a really good average yards per rush in this contest already. Came into the game averaging around 4.5. That's going to be bolstered after this first half is done. Clock runs with 6 minutes to go. Tello out of the shotgun has Wells left-hand side, trips right-hand side, and it will be a keeper by Tello, reverses field. That was a tough zone read keeper by Tello. He didn't really know what to do with that one, as though the defense really went with Montabella. Tello made the right decision, as it is, because he got the first down, but got Harry there for a second up to the 44-yard line. That moves the chains.
When Cruz starts running from his quarterback position, now your defense has to think about one more thing that this senior signal caller can do.
Tello's first rush of the evening gets him at 50 on the season. It's 1st and 10 from their own 34. Bobbled, snap back. Tello is met and dropped for a huge loss all the way at his own 30-yard line. Freddie Thomas, the senior defensive lineman, able to make the stop. They're going to mark it actually at the 32 instead, but it's now 2nd and 22 for Bowie, and that's the second time in this game we've seen a tough exchange on the snap back to Tello.
Yeah, and that one right there was more so on the snap than it was Tello. He tried to make something of it.
10 on the play clock, back to pass. Tello looks out right-hand side, flares it over to the defender, gets into Montabella, who makes a great catch on the play back at his own 30-yard line. Great touch on the pass. After it's all said and done, it's only about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but that could have been disastrous from a lot of different perspectives. It's now 3rd and 18 for Bowie, a gain of 4.
Well, you want to, this I think is a fun opportunity. It's how you look at this. You can throw this ball downfield against this Del Valle secondary if Cruz gets a few seconds to throw the ball.
Fair out near sideline, and to the left out of the slot is Langdon. Tello with time, throws it middle of the field, high, and it's going to be caught by Langdon at the midfield area. He stays on his field. A host of black jerseys finally bring him down around the 31-yard line. Talk about climbing the ladder. My goodness. 33 yards on the reception in traffic, no less.
And yards after contact was probably about 14.
Langdon literally carrying about 3 black jerseys on his back around 5 or 6 yards.
Great
I think he just got tired at some point. Ball on the 31-yard line, near side of hash. Play action, throw out left-hand side, caught by Drangy. He has good blocking upfield, and he's able to follow that in the near side sideline before he's bounced out of bounds around the 22-yard line. He's short of the first down marker by 2. Make it 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard pitch and catch.
Yeah, and a good move by Drangy after he catches the ball there. Getting the sophomore used to the offense, not just special teams, where he has been place kicking already this evening.
Now Langdon is all the way out far right-hand side, and they're going to bring him off the field. That's what I thought. Yeah, now you have one receiver out right-hand side, and we're just going to go ahead and call a timeout. Bowie now with 3:29 left in this first half. We'll keep it here. Uses their first timeout, 2 remaining, up 14-0, and had a bit of a trip up on this offensive series. Got a really nice off the back foot throw by Tello. Found the tallest player on the field, Langdon, who still had to jump up for that ball.
It's okay.
But nobody else could get to it because the defenders around him are much shorter than him.
That's what I said. You had an opportunity
Just throw
there.
it to him each time, right?
Yeah, you give.
Wells has the same kind of advantage on his side of the
Yes.
field as well.
That's why I said you can look at that 3rd and long 2 different ways. And I like what Bowie said. We can throw this ball downfield against this secondary and let our playmakers on the edges see what they can do. And a great catch, as you said. And then the effort after the catch was even better, because that's when Owen Langdon carried about 3 or 4 Del Valle Cardinals about another 10 to 15 yards.
Well, we've seen almost like when you go to a Chinese restaurant, Bowie's doing it 2 ways. They've gotten the run going multiple times in the first quarter. Now the passing game is coming together in this last offensive set. I had to do it. I won't apologize. Wells now near side is a lone receiver there. One out right-hand side, I believe, is fair. And they're going to hand it off, and Montabella breaks it back in. I thought he had the edge right-hand side, but Steve, he made the right choice once again near the 10-yard line. Make it at 11, just shy of that, but well enough for a first down. And it's first down and goal to go for the Bulldogs at the 11.
Yeah, and a great run, staying between the tackles but cutting at the right time, getting the ball into the red zone, and now 1st and 10. They do not have to score to get another first down.
You're right. You get to the 1-yard line. Langdon in motion from left to right. He'll join Wells out right-hand side, and it will be a handoff. Montabella again. This time he's met by a wall of black jerseys again, but still keeps those legs churning. I thought he was going to gain about 2 or 3. Instead, he gains almost 6 on the play, Steve. It's now 2nd down. And around 5 to go for the Bulldogs. They, again, can get just inside around the 2-yard line for a first down.
Well, Montabella finishes off a run extremely well, meaning that his shoulder pads are heading north when he attacks his opponents who try to tackle him.
Lone back, again, is Montabella along with Tello out of the shotgun, and it will be a keeper by Tello. He gets at the 5, and he's wrangled around, and don't get hurt, please, at the 2-yard line. He should be very close to a first down. And Tello, not going down easily, will get up on his own 2 feet. I don't see any limping as well. And that will be 3rd down and inches for a first down for the Bulldogs. Under 2 to go here in the first half of play, leading 14-0 against Del Valle.
A lot of choices here now on 3rd and short. First down and a touchdown looming.
Opposite eye, right-hand side, Montabella, the deep man. He will get the handoff up the middle, and he'll go in for 6. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Now leading 20-0. That from 2 yards out. First non-double-digit rushing score of the evening for Montabella. And with 3 rushing scores, he now has 9 on the season. Bulldogs 1 point away from going up 21-0. Drangy setting up for the extra point. Holder is Ryder Willie. Fair and fold, Dustin. On the snap back. The kick is up, and it is good. Bulldogs lead. Bolstered to 21 against Del Valle. 1:32 left in the first half of play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
I'd like to talk about sandwiches for a second, specifically the Schlotzsky's Original. The sandwich that since 1971 has been an American favorite. I'd like to talk about the original one-of-a-kind, made from scratch every morning, spongy, soft sourdough bun. I'd like to talk about the original's thick stack of select meats, hearty cheeses, crisp veggies, and signature sauce. Why do I want to talk about the original? Mostly because I'm hungry, and the Schlotzsky's Original is the most delicious sandwich I could think of.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
Bowie Bulldogs leading 21-0 on the strength of 3 rushing scores, all by Kason Matabella. Lead Del Valle here in the first away district game for the Bulldogs. They're 2-0 away from Berger this season. And those are wins at Manor and at Vista Ridge to start out the season. And then they had 3 straight home games against Glenn, Judson, and Lake Travis last week. Cavaliers are idle this week. And Austin High is playing at Dripping Springs tonight at Tiger Stadium, enjoying the fried catfish, more than likely. Drangy with the kickoff from right to left is fielded upfield past the 25 to the 32-yard line. Mason East on the coverage with the stop on the return. And that by Douglas, as he is apt to do. This is a team in Del Valle who has 2 or 3 electrifying players if they can get the ball in their hands, but running the ball is what Del Valle has been trying to do and take a little bit more air out of this game. We saw in their last offensive series it almost worked out well for them until they went for it on 4th and couldn't convert. Trips right-hand side, one left-hand side. Marcantoni back to pass now. With 1:22 left, he lobs it out left, and it's incomplete. And that intended for his running back came out of the backfield, and Bradley Dents. It goes over his head. It seems to me that Marcantoni has the sideline passes down pretty well. He can run the football, knows how to run the offense, Steve. We haven't seen him be all that accurate downfield. And that might be his biggest shortcoming so far, just from us watching his first half.
I think that's a pretty reasonable assessment, D. But he does have a little time to throw the ball.
He does have time. Trips right-hand side, one out left. Here's Marcantoni to pass again. Flares it out, middle of the field, and then it's almost a screen. It does go upfield, but getting your playmakers in space, Douglas with the reception, gets around 4 on the play. Ball will be placed at the 38-yard line, 37. It's 3rd and 5 to go here for Del Valle, and I believe they take their second timeout of the game. And trying to stay in this one, we'll keep it here. They do use their second to last timeout. Can't take it with you.
Cannot. Not in the first half.
Bowie won the coin toss, elected to defer. They'll start out the second half with the football. So this is a big series of downs for Del Valle. Would like to go into the locker room with something on the board other than a goose egg with 1:15 left.
Well, here's the interesting thing. If you get nothing out of this play, does Bowie look to quickly figure out if they can sneak in another score? Now, recall, Bowie's won the coin toss, elected.
I mean, why not? So let's throw that out there. Let's say Del Valle doesn't get the conversion. I figure that might be a little bit much if they try to go for it on their own 37-yard line from 4th and 5. We'll see how it plays out. Roll out Marcantoni, look downfield, throws it right sideline. It's caught at the 49-yard line, so it doesn't matter. All of that conjecture thrown out the window. It's a first down pitch and catch. Nice touch on the ball. Caden Nunez with the reception on relatively good coverage by Banks. Nonetheless, that moves the chains, and it's first down and 10 for Del Valle at their own 49 near side hash.
Well, you don't have to be a hero if your Banks just keep everything in front of you. Only one timeout left for Del Valle. even though the clock stops with the first down.
Nunez also got out of bounds. The clock has not even started. Although now back to pass, Marcantoni heaves it left-hand side, incomplete. You had underneath and over-the-top coverage on that last pass play intended for Kevin Meeks, who came across the field from right to left. And that will bring up a 2nd and 10 for Del Valle, who now have really kind of abandoned the run with 1:03 left in the first half, down 21-0.
I think you're right because, most of the good rushing attack coming from Del Valle from Hodges, and he's been on the sideline here for a couple series.
Pinkley, Douglas, Meeks, main targets here. Back is Marcantoni with modest pressure. Now he feels it, throws on the move up the middle and completes to Douglas at the 35 to the 34-yard line. That a gain of almost 20. 1st and 10. Now the clock will stop at 56 seconds to go in the half with the chains moving. That should also now start back up, and it does. Marcantoni. Now shotgun in quickly. Cardinals back to pass. Looking right now, Marcantoni will step and throw to the end zone. It will be incomplete. And that went over the head of his intended receiver. And Nunez banks on the coverage. Good coverage downfield. Well over the head of the intended receiver.
Yeah. I was going to say that ball was probably closest to the flags of the Del Valle Cardinals, I guess, letter bearers in this south end zone. Nobody was going to catch that in bounds.
2 receivers out, left-hand side. Meeks in the slot to the left. Here's Marcantoni. Pressure goes out left-hand side. It is caught. The far side sideline. Staying in bounds. Nice tackle. Caught by Dent, but he couldn't go anywhere. East with the coverage, and he has been spectacular on defense here. And now we have a player hurt for Del Valle with the helmet coming off. Nunez, who has been also an integral part of this offense, will have to come off, I believe. And also, Del Valle forced to take their final timeout of the half with 30 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 5 at the 29-yard line of Bowie for the Cardinals, who are making a valiant effort here to try to get some points on the board before halftime.
I think Nunez can come back in the game because Del Valle took the timeout, so I think this is a water break. Oh, yeah. He wanted a little water break. He's been running routes, 20 and 30 yards downfield. Made a good catch for a first down to keep this drive going for the Cardinals. And so now looking at 3rd and about 5, D, a lot of pressure going to be in the face of Del Valle. And do you swing it side to side and hope that you can break a tackle against this Bulldogs defense? Good luck.
Mason East has been really the straw that's stirring the defensive drink here for Bowie. He's 3rd on the team in tackles with 40. He also has 2 tackles for a loss. He leads the team in that category now with 7 on the season. We'll see what he comes up with. And the rest of this defense need to come up big. 3rd and 5 from the 29. Here's Marcantoni going deep down the right sideline again and just overthrows, hit his intended receiver. That was a just sprint down the right sideline by Douglas. And he had beat his man by about a step. And had that been well placed, that would have been a score. But that brings him now a 4th and 5, and the Cards going for it.
Well, you had Tijerina in the face. So that ball had to get thrown quickly, or that was going to be a sack.
It was an earlier throw, I'm sure, than Marcantoni wanted to have to do. You're exactly right, Steve. 1 receiver out left-hand side, now 2 out left. The slot is Meeks. Watch out for him. 2 out right inside, and Douglas in the slot to the right. Marcantoni now on a 4th and 5, and it will be incomplete. Going for it on the 29-yard line of the Bulldogs, right off the hand of Meeks. Now, had he been able to hold on to that, would have been one of the better catches we've seen all season, but he did get a paw on it to block it down more than anything else. And now Bowie, with 21.6 seconds left, should just kneel on this one and take that 21-0 lead into halftime.
Absolutely, especially when they know that they're going to receive the kickoff in the second half. Pretty well played first half of football. There was a punt in the first quarter, as you mentioned, both teams punting back and forth to
It
each
was a
other.
sloppy start for both teams.
But again, the second and third turns on the track for the Bowie Bulldogs have resulted in 3 ground tallies.
Kason Montabella really coming through. Now it's going to be a handoff. Montabella finds middle, now breaks it back in, tripped up, helmet comes off of a defender for Del Valle. It's a run of around 11 yards on the play, and now a player down for Bowie. It's an offensive lineman on a first down carry. That's not what you want to see.
No.
Dang it. And that is Cole Beachy, right tackle for the Bulldogs, who had just gotten as much as they can possibly be at almost full strength on the offensive front on an offensive set that really is somewhat inconsequential as you have a 21-0 lead. But Beachy will be up, and I think he should be fine as he's a little bit shaken up, but needs no real help to come off the field, Steve.
No, that's good. You want to have all your folks up front at full strength. He gets halftime to walk this one off. We probably have a substitute here for this last 13.1 on the clock.
That does bring up an interesting situation here for Bowie, as, of course, all teams in the district, as they will across the state of Texas, have an open date. Bowie has their open date at the very end of the season. In fact, they completed their entire schedule before that ends up happening. I don't know what that's going to end up meaning. We'll see. This should be the final play of another bobbled snap back. Tello is able to corral it. He's going to be chased out of the pocket, running now, and will stay on his feet. He's at midfield, and he needs to stay healthy too. And he'll go out of bounds. The clock runs nonetheless, and I'm fine with that. That's a huge gain of the play by Tello, who took that busted play to the 42-yard line of Del Valle. I actually think there should be one more play left.
There should be, but
because that clock ran with Tello out at the 43-yard line of Del Valle, and they're going to say one more play. And I think that's right.
I think you're absolutely right. 2 seconds.
At least 2 seconds. There it goes. 2.0. Trips left-hand side. Now here's Tello, who might have an opportunity here just to fling this down the field. Or do you hand it off to Montabella?
I'll throw it.
I agree. Pressure shown here for Del Valle. Here it comes. Stepping up. Here's Tello. He'll run and then throw it to the end zone. It's well short, and it's going to be incomplete. And Tello on the run, but there's a flag. There's 2 of them. And if I had to make a guess, it should be a roughing the passer or personal foul of some kind, or a face mask.
I think it's a personal foul, but
nonetheless, if it's against the defense, you also can't end the first half that way.
That's right. You got to be smart. Look, you're up 21. You're on the road. You're playing against a district opponent. And I can't talk too much. I was removed from my first game my senior year of high school. So I've learned my lesson since. And right now, hopefully, this doesn't have anybody ejected. It could be somebody's first warning, though, as unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, there's a massive conference here between the officials.
Either way.
It's on the side of the field where Tello was running before he threw the football.
I saw Montabella, though, turning back around, so I don't want to guess anything, of course.
Well, no, we'll wait for them to say it. I'm just saying where in the vicinity of the flags are and what was going on in that area. But this is a long conference.
Well, if it's 15 yards, that puts the ball inside the 30, which could be an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown.
Or do you try to go for the field goal with Drangy?
Nah. My best advantage, because if you get a pass interference in the end zone, you get another play, even closer.
Or if you get a roughing the kicker, you also get another play. Here is the opportunity for us to actually find out what's going on. It's taken a while.
Could be offsetting, too.
Personal foul against Del Valle. And we have
Sportsmanlike
conduct against Del Valle.
Ooh.
And that will bring the ball all the way inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. This first half will not end. Del Valle won't let it. They now continue to penalty their way into now where it's going to be a field goal attempt. 34 yards on the far side hash by Drangy.
So they took your advice there, D-Hands. But here we go. It's even closer.
It is. They brought it back up. They didn't stop moving the ball up until now.
Because you could take 2 penalties because they were dead ball. So now you're looking at about a 30-yard
field goal. Just inside there on the far side hash. Drangy on the season 0 for 1. From 25 yards out. Let's see if he can connect here. The field goal is up, and it is no good. Far left-hand side. Line driver had plenty of distance, but hook left, much like most of my drives. It's now on to halftime we go, and 3 points unable to put back on the board at the very end as a gift by the Del Valle defense, but still Bowie will go into halftime leading 21-0.
Yeah, and I think that
have to be happy with that.
That was definitely kindness by Coach Abels, because I think if it were me with having the receivers that Bowie has, I probably would have thrown it in the end zone to either Wells or Langdon and seen if I got a pass interference.
I think had it been against any other team, you might do that. And if you're taking on a team that you have done very well against, that is not necessarily playing great football, maybe you see and get a few more opportunities for your kicking game to try to figure things out.
Absolutely.
Bit, especially in the first half. Maybe second half you might not do that.
That's still the A answer, D.
Yeah. Right. So here we go into halftime, 21-0. Bulldogs with the advantage against Del Valle here on the road, looking for their first district win of the season, their second district game of the year. And Steve, before we throw it to break, what did you like seeing out of Bowie in that first half?
I like the line play of both the offense and defense. The line of scrimmage is where football games are won because it gives playmakers the opportunity to show their stuff. And in this first half, you've seen a lot of Mason East on the defensive side, making some great tackles, disrupting in the backfield of Del Valle because of the great line play of the defense. And then you've seen Montebello carry the ball into the end zone from various degrees on the football field and get this offense going. Cruz Tello with a great run. And still you have the receptions from the big boys, 2 and 9, as Wells and Langdon have been doing exactly what they need to here in their second district game.
Del Valle really had some good momentum in a couple offensive series, Steve, and employed the let's take the air out of the game by running the football, and it worked out for them. In fact, they had a couple of offensive series that they were able to move the ball down the field, and then they were unable to convert on some fourth downs. But aside from that, they have some things to work with going into half. Now, this is the same halftime score that Bowie faced last week against Lake Travis, on the other side of it, 21-0. What does Coach Patman tell his Cardinals going into halftime and what to look forward to in the second half?
Well, you got to be more consistent in what you do execution-wise so you can get the ball into the red zone first and foremost, and then you got to get some tallies. You got to break the ice. You got to get on the scoreboard.
Both teams looking for their first district win of the season. Bowie on a little bit better pace on that edge right now, but it's only a half down, a whole other half to go, leading 21-0 against Del Valle. We have our halftime festivities coming up, and we will look at the bands before the second half gets underway, where the Bowie Bulldogs will receive the kickoff to start out that second half of play, again leading by 3 touchdowns, 21-0 against the Del Valle Cardinals. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Austin Oaks Hospital offers specialized inpatient and outpatient psychiatric services for adolescents aged 12 to 17 and adults. With a dedicated women's unit, it caters to females seeking psychological support. Our women's inpatient treatment serves ages 18 and above. Adolescent outpatient programs provide evidence-based interventions to prevent hospitalization or aid post-hospitalization transition. The partial hospitalization revitalization program offers intensive care with psychiatric visits, multiple daily groups, and family therapy. We provide confidential, no-cost, 24/7 level of care assessments without requiring referrals. Walk-ins are welcome. Learn more at austinoakshospital.com or call 512-440-4800.
Life is a journey, every high and every low shared with those who care about you. From the joy of first steps to the pain of first heartbreak, having someone in your corner, Mom, can make the difference between worry and comfort. At the Carlson Law Firm, we take our position as counselors at law seriously. During life's worst moments, we're here for you.
We may not be there for all of life's moments, but we're here when you need us. We care, we can help.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
The Silver Stars and JV Star dancers are under the direction of Leanne Bolnowski and Alyssa Baramsky. And now here's your production routine to Shout It Out Loud. Once again, put your hands together for the Silver Stars and the JV Stars from Bowie High School. Outstanding job, ladies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, please welcome to the field the nationally recognized, award-winning Del Valle High School Cardinal Bell Dance Team. Joining the Cardinal Bells on the field are the proud Cardinal Band. The bells are under the direction of Mrs. Catherine Gonzalez, assisted by Miss Kara Martinez. The bells are led on the field by sophomore lieutenant Shalaya Carr, sophomore lieutenant Josefina Ramos, junior lieutenant Jay Tovar, senior lieutenant Ava Cuellar, first lieutenant Kendall Henry, and Captain Julia Pereira. Line Sergeant Clarissa Morales, Fiorella Salazar, and Kalia Ivy. This year's social officers are President Savannah Bazan, Vice President Adriana Banuelos, and social officers Inessa Etienne, Asia Perez, and Serena Vasquez. Teacher of the Week is Coach Beckworth. And now, Del Valle High School is pleased to present the combined band and dance programs from all three Del Valle ISD middle schools and a DVHS performing for an annual middle school night. Please help us welcome to the field the band and dance members from Daly Middle School, Del Valle Middle School, and Ojeda Middle School. Before they perform, please join us in thanking the middle school directors and instructors that train these students every day. At Daly Middle School, for band, Mr. Sean Davis, Miss Shelby Easley McPherson, and for dance, Miss Ashley Rootser. At Del Valle Middle School, for band, Miss Jana Davis and Mr. Kalen Matthews. And for dance, Mrs. Deanna Garcia. At Ojeda Middle School, for band, Mr. Robert Flores and Miss Abigail Tostanowski. For dance, Mrs. Maria Kaderka. Tonight, your Del Valle Cardinal Bells, your Del Valle Carnettes, and members from the pre-drill class, as well as the dancers from Daly, Del Valle Middle, and Ojeda will be performing for tonight's Little Bells performance. Ladies and gentlemen, under the field direction of head drum major Malachi Jimenez and assistant drum majors Isaiah Tennyson, Diana Siramuri, and Edgar Landeros, here is DJ Khaled's 2010 triple platinum single, All I Do Is Win. performers along with the Little Bells. Put your hands together again for all these great, outstanding performers that come tonight. If I can have your attention, please. Silver Stars and JV Star Dancers, if you would please stop. If you'll head back out onto the field, we're going to try and work our way through the technical problems for you so you can actually try and do your tambourine routine. So tambourine. Tambourine upon. So go. Your director's up here and she's not very happy with you. Your other director is up here telling you to do that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please allow us to introduce for their tambourine routine the JV Silver Stars and the JV Star Dancers. Athletics is not the only area of competition sponsored by the University Interscholastic League. UIL sponsors music competitions in band, choir, and orchestra, theater with a one-act play, academic meets, journalism contests, and speech and debate. These activities will involve well over 1 million Texas students participating in elementary, junior, middle school, and high school contests. The largest UIL-sponsored activity in terms of student participation is in the area of music. Approximately 320,000 students from 2,500 junior and senior high schools participate in UIL-sponsored music activities. Some of the best timing and most intricate maneuvers to be witnessed this evening are provided by the bands, the dance teams, and the cheerleaders that represent both of these high schools. The leadership exercised by these young people is part of the educational program of each of their schools.
Austin Oaks Hospital offers specialized inpatient and outpatient psychiatric services for adolescents aged 12 to 17 and adults. With a dedicated women's unit, it caters to females seeking psychological support. Our women's inpatient treatment serves ages 18 and above. Adolescent outpatient programs provide evidence-based interventions to prevent hospitalization or aid post-hospitalization transition. The partial hospitalization program offers intensive care with psychiatric visits, multiple daily groups, and family therapy. We provide confidential, no-cost, 24/7 level of care assessments without requiring referrals. Walk-ins are welcome. Learn more at austinoakshospital.com or call 512-440-4800.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above. The only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
At Circle C Orthodontics, Dr. Fidel Del Toro and Dr. Jonathan Kimes love making beautiful, healthy smiles. Utilizing the latest advances in technology and techniques, the team at Circle C Ortho can help you look better and feel better too. Their practice philosophy focuses on patient-centered, personalized care. They take the time to get to know you as a person, not just a set of teeth or braces. Circle C Orthodontics, no referral needed, all insurance plans welcome, and affordable payment options available. More information at austin-braces.com, 512-394-0930.
About 2 minutes out before the second half gets underway between the Bowie Bulldogs and the Del Valle Cardinals. Dee Hanson joined by Steve Foster, J.C. DeLeon. Knobson needling it here on site. The Bulldogs leading 21-0. A couple of scores in the first quarter by Case and Matabella. That 11 and 21 yards out on the ground. And you also have the rushing score by Matabella from 2 yards out. Is the only score in the second quarter, which was a much better as far as adjustments are concerned for Del Valle across the board. Their offense was on the field for a long time. In fact, Bowie didn't get their offense on the field about 6.5 to go in the second half of play, but then had an opportunity to kick a field goal inside 30. Drangy misses it, left, and could have gone up 24-0. But again, the Bulldogs happy with the 21-0 lead against Del Valle. That gets us to the 26-6A standings. You have a game that happened last night. Westlake all over Aikens, 70-0. So Westlake is up 1-0 also in their district standings and 4-1 on the season. And entertaining now a win streak finally at 2 games in a row after falling to Atascocita late in their non-district slate. They join Dripping Springs, who's won their last 4 in Lake Travis, again 5-0 on the year. Austin High with the victory against these Del Valle Cardinals last week. They have a 1-0 advantage also in district standings, taking on Dripping Springs at Tiger Stadium. And Dripping Springs in the last 4 games, boy, they look good. They've outscored their last 4 opponents by 27 points per contest as well. So rounding into form after that opening season loss. Lake Travis idle tonight. So Bowie trying to get 1-1 on the year after that 44-6 loss against Lake Travis, and looking so far so good in the first half.
Yeah, I think, after a little slow start out of the blocks, Cruz Tello and the offensive line really very cohesive and giving Cruz time to find some receivers, but more so Matabella the opportunity to rush for 3 tallies from various locations on this football field, north and south in Del Valle, Texas.
Gomez will kick it away from his own 40-yard line, going right to left. Again, Bowie won the coin toss, elected to defer, so they are receiving in the north end zone to our left-hand side. Gomez launches this one, and it goes out of bounds at around the 1-yard line on the near side hash, right over the head of Drangy, who wisely let that one go to kind of engender the flag.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
Yeah.
Engender?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It's
that
a Scrabble
means
word.
brings it about, and it will be now the ball at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, and the 5-yard penalty. And the Bowie Bulldogs, again, in their white tops, black bottoms, the black letters numbers in red trim, black helmets. And Del Valle in all black. Black tops and bottoms, the white letters numbers in white helmets. These are 2 teams that share the same exact colors across the board.
The schemes
yes. are very similar. I kind of like the Del. I don't know if I've seen the All Blacks from
Del
Valle. I like them. They're very clean.
Yeah. You like the fact that you can read the numbers.
These are my favorite Bowie jerseys for the most part, because I can see, like you said, the numbers. Trips to the right-hand side, one out left is Wells. He's a lone guy over there on the far side hash. Throw out left-hand side. Here's Matabella. Gets some good blocking, and he finds some room on the far side sideline before he is hit out of bounds. And we will see if this is enough for a first down. There's a flag all the way back on the 26-yard line far side. And the way that Cruz Tello's nonverbal communication is to me is that it's against Bowie.
They don't like the blocks on the edge. And, both plays that have gone for good yardage on that far side, the head linesman has dropped his yellow hanky.
Yep. And I say this because I don't usually bring out individuals. I do believe I saw Wells with a block in the back. And that's exactly what the call is. And if they could call out a number, they would, and it would be 2.
Well, a 3rd and 18 was picked up in the first half of the game.
That's
so,
right.
again, I think you should make this a fun exercise here at first and 20.
I mean, they have no other choice. It's 1st and 20 now. A delayed draw. Matabella finds the edge, far side, 25, 30, 35, 40, and he is near the first down marker on a 21-yard gain. He got it, 20 to be exact.
So you have fun with it.
It's super fun.
Yeah, this is football.
You'd rather not have the penalties, but if you want to make it more fun, throw a penalty in there every so often. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, because
I don't think Coach Abels is going to see it the same way as you.
Not at all.
Just saying.
Yes.
Now, quickly the line, Bowie with some tempo. 1st and 10, Ty Branyan with the call. His 17th year as the offensive coordinator, gets to Matabella, this time in the A-gap. Gets up to the 43-yard line for a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
You don't want to be behind the chains, as they always say. You hear that. Oh, behind the chains. Yeah, that means penalty, more than 10 yards to go for a first down. But, again, if you have an offense like this, like Bowie has, a lot of options and a senior signal caller, have some fun with it.
No Moreno or Ball again tonight. And still having the options. Here is a play action throw out right-hand side to Willie, who makes some depth moves past midfield into Cardinal territory. Ryder Willie, ever so often, again, the backup quarterback, but is in there as an up fullback kind of for a Dory position. Has the opportunity to get some catches, and he does. And when he does, he makes a lot out of them, and that time he did for a first down. Trips left-hand side, one near side, and Wells. That's the short side of the field. Tello still with Matabella. We've seen Delmark run it one time. Other than that, it's been Matabella and Tello rushing the football exclusively. Again, we're at the Del Valle 49-yard line. Pulling it out is Tello. I don't know why he did that. And instead, he'll have to be swallowed up for about a 6-yard loss.
That was a bad
opportunity
choice.
to hand it off to Matabella, who he might have lost some yards, but nothing like that. And good job by the defense for Del Valle. And credit Freddie Thomas for making the tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that right there was one that Cruz Tello, if he gives this ball near side to Matabella, he's still running. He's halfway to Kyle Buda.
Now it's even more fun here for the offense. It's 2nd and 15. Trips left-hand side. Matabella ranges out. They're going to throw in a slant, and it's caught. Upfield goes Langdon, who has had a whale of a game. He continues that on a 15-yard slant. A lot of yak on the end of that one. And don't let the lankiness fool you. Langdon has some strength to him as well. He carries tacklers again, as he did in the first half, on a mesmerizing play, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, great pitch and catch there, but the yards after contact, phenomenal.
Really in motion now. The up man will block, and now he makes a key one for Matabella, who will blow his way all the way past to the 35 to the 33-yard line and gain around 6 on the play. And nice block left-hand side by Willie to spring that one.
Ryder Willie, I think, as you said, he is a football player. He can play quarterback. He can play
just put him on the field, right?
Just put him on the field.
2 right-hand side. Langdon in the slot to the right. Far out right-hand side is Fair. Out left-hand side, you have Wells. And now he'll throw out right-hand side. Caught and dropped by Langdon at the 12-yard line. He had maybe, I don't know, Steve, some footsteps to consider behind him by Kenneth Hunt, the senior defensive back, but he just dropped it.
It was too open. And
he was too open.
Langdon wanted to start running.
That's a real deal.
Yeah, he wanted to start running before he secured the ball. And it's a tendency that happens. It's a great route, post route, and he was wide open.
2 receivers right-hand side, 1 left-hand side, another delay handoff. Here's Delmark, who springs forward past the 25 inside to the 22-yard line for a first down carry of nearly 10 on the play.
Yeah, great run, left side between the guard and the tackle, the B gap, and Joe Delmark.
Another football player. We've seen him play both sides of the ball as well.
Trying to do his Charles Woodson.
That's right. Oh, my. 2 out left-hand side. That's the short side of the field is Watts and Langdon out far out left. And now the shotgun to the left is Montabella. And in his face and throwing right-hand side is Wells. But talk about pressure.
Right.
And a man, its hand directly in the face of Tello getting that one away. And it still almost got complete somehow.
Well, I was going to say, for all the pressure in his face, Cruz Tello just a tad off. If he throws that ball a yard more inside, that's a touchdown.
But that's where the play action actually made it harder for him to get it done.
Just go ahead and just rear back. And
the timing threw off the offense unintentionally. Trips right inside, 1 out left as Wells. Willie now will motion up and be the blocker for Montabella, who can't find any space up the middle in a 2nd and 10. And this is now 2 consecutive nice-looking pushes by the front 3 of Del Valle to make the plays.
I think that
make
one,
it 3rd and 10.
Cruz Tello probably should have kept.
Yeah.
So, but look,
it's
here.
hard.
You're 2 yards away from the red zone. It's 3rd down. You can take 2 downs to get 10, 12 yards here, and you still have Cruz Tello, who is firing on all cylinders.
Give some credit to this defense. Jeremiah Robinson and company. A whole shift from left to right now, and 3 men coming back over from left to right-hand side. High snap. Tello now will bootleg out left. He is met by a defender, gets out of that, runs over, then throws it, and it will be in and out of the hands of Montabella, floating it to him at the 5-yard line. And Montabella been able to hold on to that one, would have been into the end zone for a score from 22 yards out, but nonetheless, it's now 2nd and 10, or 4th and 10. And Del Valle's defense coming up big, trying to bend and not break.
Well, 2 drops, unfortunately, by Bowie receivers. And right there, you just have to have soft hands if you're Montabella coming out of that backfield. But a 29-yard field goal.
Penalty on the play as well against Bowie was declined by Del Valle.
Make that a 39-yard.
And make it 39 yards on the far side hash by Drangy, who missed earlier, and now motion all across the way by Del Valle, and pushing and shoving at the end of the play. We'll see what the officials will say on this one. I don't know if it's false start or offsides. We'll see. Both sides are pointing at each other.
Here we go.
Motion against Bowie on a false start.
Move it back. Make it more interesting.
5 yards back.
Oh, here comes the offense. I love
Makes
it.
it 34 yards.
Scrap
and
that.
The offense will come out.
Scrap that.
To go for it. And we've seen Del Valle on a couple of instances keep drives alive for Bowie on personal fouls. We saw it in the late stages of the end of the 2nd quarter.
Yes.
2 receivers right-hand side. Bowie going for it on a 4th and 15 from the 27 of Del Valle.
I like it.
Here's Tello looking deep, has plenty of time, throws it middle of the field and incomplete. No flags on the field. And that ball, I believe, intended for Matthew Fair, who just did not break inside enough. Or the throw was a bad one, but Tello had all the time in the world to throw the football.
He did, and I think he was looking for Langdon underneath, but had he gone into the end zone, Matthew Fair was open on a post pattern, but again.
Yeah, that drained, Steve, that almost drained half of the 3rd quarter with nothing happening.
Right.
So no scores so far, and Del Valle has the ball for the first time here in the 3rd quarter, down 21-0. but a huge stop by the defense on a turnover on downs. Man in motion is Douglas now. Handoff goes, and the running game was working a bit for the Cardinals late stages and mid stages of the second quarter of play. And they're going to go right to it. The A-gap, that to Bradley Dent. They're not trying to find the edge against this Bowie defense. They're going straight up the gut every single time they run the football. That includes their junior quarterback at 6'1", almost 200 pounds, and Alex Marcantoni, who's also been able to find some success running the football. It's 2nd and 5. Ball on the 32-yard line. Cardinals trailing 21-0. 6:15 and counting down left in the third quarter of play against the Bowie Bulldogs. Trips left-hand side, going right to left. Douglas in motion now. Will go behind and go out right-hand side and get the handoff. Tries to find edge left-hand side, breaks it back in because of the defenders, and he'll be brought down for nothing on the play. Maybe a yard. Reagan Cooper making the stop. Now brings up a third and a long 4 to go here for Del Valle at their own 33-yard line.
As quick as Douglas is, Reagan Cooper gets the advantage because he's in that secondary, so he just reads what's going on and just comes right downhill. It just blows by.
And you can tell Bowie is not overly concerned about the passing of Marcantoni.
Then there's
so they can cheat up a little bit. We don't have a lot. We have a lot of press coverage going on right now. Trips right-hand side, one out left. Low snap. Marcantoni has to just land on top of it to keep Bowie from getting the football back. It's a 6-yard loss on the fumble by the quarterback back to his own 26-yard line. And now makes it 4th and about 12, and Del Valle will be forced to punt the ball away.
Darty and T Arena shot out of a cannon. They were almost on that football as quickly as the quarterback for Del Valle as they came screaming off the left edge.
This has been an adventure whenever Ponce comes back to punt it away. He's back at his own 12. Nice snap back, though, and he gets it away. Almost blocked. They run into the kicker, and a flag is thrown at the end of that one. Drangy lets it go, hitting at the 30-yard line, takes a very advantageous Cardinal bounce, and goes all the way to the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. Remember, it's 4th and 11, but if you're roughing the kicker, that wipes out everything, and it's a first down.
So there's an art to blocking a punt, and it's not hitting the kicker. It's taking the ball off the toe, off the foot of the punter, and that allows you to get the ball first, then you can catch the punter second.
Here is Paul Watkins, the white cap here tonight with the call. We've yet to hear it from him. And there's a conference that he's having with Coach Patman. We're going to bring back out everybody on the field. Watkins is joined by Van Abbott, the umpire, Wade Hill, again, the head linesman. Line judges Caleb Blacklock. Back judge is Tom Malone. And this will be a conference for Patman and Watkins, as this does not necessitate, I guess, a first down. Because if it did, it'd be an easy.
Oh, this is just running into the kicker.
Running into the kicker, and it'll be declined. So it's going to be a re-kick. So it's 4th and 11 again for Del Valle, and they're going to roll the dice. And now we have now both teams are coming off the fields, and if it's declined, you keep the kick.
Yes.
So there's no reason to re-kick it.
Take the play.
Take the play, which will be down at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for Bowie going left to right, leading 21-0 in a very uneventful, at least on the scoreboard, third quarter of play. 4.5 to go.
It's eventful, just no scoring.
And what I said was uneventful as far as the scoreboard is concerned. So I appreciate your distinction, but I made it prior to that.
Reinforcing.
I appreciate the reinforcement, just in case people didn't hear what I just said 5 seconds ago.
It happened.
Yeah. Here's Bowie now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. By the way, that's 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, Steve, just in case people didn't hear what I just said.
I'm on it.
Okay. Offset eye, right-hand side. Tello has it and will hand it off. And, boy, this has worked well for the Bulldogs. Mathabella a host of blocking, goes right upfield and gets almost 15 yards on the carry. Steve, almost felt like a tunnel for him. It almost didn't seem like he got touched until he got the 15 yards, and now a player down for Del Valle. And we don't know if cramps are going to start coming into effect here. Steve, we started out 90 degrees, and it wasn't overtly hot as what we've seen in Austin before.
Oh, no, it's cooling
But the humidity
off.
continues to be somewhat there. And now we're late stages of the third quarter of play, and we have our first player down. And all indications have this for Kenneth Hunt.
Yes.
You have to be careful of that name. Showing some signs of having that right or that right calf.
I'm stretching out for him here.
And I can
in
tell.
the press box.
I can tell. And players around him. There's a full timeout on the field. We're going to keep it here because I don't know. You never know when this might remedy itself. But all indications show that Hunt should be fine. And he's coming off, but walking gingerly on that right leg. Banana. Super helpful.
Water.
Hydrogen water also.
Hydrogen water.
So, but Mathabella, when he has touched the ball for the most part in this game, has
excelled.
Really done well.
He's excelled.
Again, that average yards per rush at 4.5. It ballooned at 6.2 before Lake Travis. Got kind of edged back a little bit, but he's getting it back to where he had been before. And this is all to say that Reese Moreno, another incredible back, really spells a great 1-2 punch for Bowie once they get to full strength, which he should be back sometime this season. It's 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line after the 14-yard run by Mathabella. Out of the shotgun again, Mathabella has the carry, breaks it back in, lowers the right shoulder past the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Good run.
And that will gain him about 6, almost 7 yards on the carry. And Bowie's now very happy to run the football effectively.
Correct.
Run the clock.
Correct.
And shorten this game up, just like Del Valle tried to do in the second quarter. But keep Bowie's offense on the field this time. 2 receivers left-hand side. That's the long side of the field. Langdon out in the slot. This is Delmar, who tries to stiff way his arm to his around the first down marker, but he's about shy by 2 yards. And the rugby player's not going to go down easily. Gains 2. It's 3rd and 2 for the Bulldogs at their own 43-yard line. Make it a one long 1 yard, I would imagine. And another player down. And I would also imagine this is another cramp, the way that this is being handled, raising the leg up and stretching the foot. Well, I mean, we've been here. Usually it's more towards the beginning of the season, not 5 games in. But Steve, go ahead and say what you want to say.
I don't want to. I'm not going to say a word.
It happens every year. It's tradition. It's tradition. It's 3:22 left, and Del Valle now having a case of the cramps.
And look, there's at least 15 water bottles down below us and 2 big Gatorade jugs.
They're there for a reason?
One would.
Is that what you're...
One would.
By
guess.
the way, we had a very healthy crowd below us on the home side to start out this game. That has thinned out dramatically below us.
Has thinned. Yes.
And I would tell you that the Bowie sideline, the home or the visitor side, is in full throat right now, enjoying what they're seeing with their Bulldogs leading 21-0. Clock runs now with 3:17 left in the third quarter. In motion is Wells. They fake it to him. Tello right up the middle. Huge gain on the play, and he'll be met and stopped at the 48-yard line of Del Valle. And a couple of players slow to get up, but now get back up, including Tello, by the way. And I'm getting that much more anxious whenever Tello runs the football leading by 3 scores, Steve. But that will also move the chains. And you can't keep away from what your offense is centered around, which includes running your quarterback.
But he's got to learn how to get
Cruz
that.
Tello is a running quarterback.
That Baker Mayfield slide.
He's got to get this slide down. Got to practice that. Shotgun again. Handoff. Montabella. He is bear hugged down at midfield. Losing yards on the play. Gets an earful at the end of that one by the tackler in Avery Thompson, the senior defensive lineman. And that is a loss of about 3. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 13 for the Bulldogs. And we're almost at 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. We haven't had much of any kind of scoring in this game.
Quiet
since
air
the
time.
132 mark late in the second quarter. Here's Tello in a slant. It is caught at the 42-yard line. What a catch by Langdon. Boy, Owen Langdon has had a great game. That at the 42, the yak goes to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, he's
got some strength on him.
He's gonna be mad at himself for that.
What a catch!
Post pattern that happened just a little while ago. That he started running a little too soon. But I tell you
wide
what,
open.
it's a great.
Of
route.
all the catches he's had, the non-catch he had was wide open. That's a very good point.
He needs coverage.
2 receivers out, left-hand side. And Drangy and Langdon in the slot. Handoff goes to Montabella. Has lots of room as those receivers are doing a great job blocking upfield. He gets inside the 20.
Good run.
To the 18-yard line on the far sideline. On a monster gain of nearly 20 on the play. Makes it 1:18 left in the third quarter. And Bowie knocking on the door. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 18, again, of the Del Valle Cardinals.
And Montabella bounced that ball far side, trying to get to that sideline so he doesn't have 2 sides of defenders coming at him. Picked up great yardage.
2 out right, that's the long side of the field. Out far right is Drangy, and to the right in the slot is Langdon. Handoff goes to Montabella, 15-10. Bowls his way near the 5-yard line. He's just shy there. Get him at the 6-yard line. And
great
12 yards. Montabella has hit the edge, and he runs up the middle. No matter how you dial him up, he's making some big plays on the ground.
Yeah, give the offensive line of Bowie a lot of credit. They are pushing the Del Valle Cardinal defensive line around now, and Montabella using his vision as well as his legs to pick up big yards.
2 left-hand side and 1 right. Play action, roll out, left-hand side with the run, and untouched is Tello for 6 from 6 yards out. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Good choice there. Cruz Tello had a lane on the left side. That I think you score on that one too.
Well, that's the couple now that I would have done very well on, and give a lot of credit, and I'm sure that Tello and Montabella will do the same to this offensive line.
I had mentioned that. You're absolutely correct, though. They are sealing off the defensive line of Del Valle, and no matter who is running with the football, they're doing it well.
Tello's 4th rushing score of the season. Drangy, who has been perfect this evening so far, trying to make it 4-4. That one hits the right upright and bounces back, and of course I had everything to do with that. The score remains, though, 27-0 with 2:05 left in the third quarter, and Bowie taking that much more of a control in this game against the Cardinals. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Making a decision about what to eat can be hard, especially when you're on the go. Did you know Chick-fil-A helps you save time with easy-to-order options on the Chick-fil-A app? Plus, with every qualifying purchase, you'll receive points towards tasty rewards. Order your favorites through the Chick-fil-A app and pick them up at the Chick-fil-A South Mopac to cheer on the Bulldogs to victory. Let's go,
At
Dogs!
Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
2:05 left here in the third quarter of play. Dee Hanson joined by Steve Foster from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Del Valle. Cardinals trailing the Bowie Bulldogs in 26-6A play, 27-0. The scoreboard is now completely wiped out. I think we've seen this ever so often, and now it's back up again. This is the first score in the third quarter. We only had one score in the second quarter. And all of that had been on the ground for Bowie. 3 rushing scores by Mathabella Tello with the most recent rush for 6 from 6 by 6. "20 seconds to go" is what I meant to say. I said 22 minutes. It's 20 seconds. I didn't have my glasses on. Here is the kickoff by Drangy. He lofts this one, fielded at the 7-yard line, right up the middle. Del Valle will return it and find not much of any kind of room. Past the 15 to this 17-yard line. The special teams downfield has been very good here for Bowie the majority of the game. That is Caden Nunez, who has had some nice moments, but that time not so much, as he didn't even get to the 20-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 at the 18 for Del Valle, who have not been blanked all season long. They have not scored. They only had 6 on the board against the Maroons last week, and they're in danger of that, but still a whole another quarter to go.
Right.
With 13.6 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but Bowie doing a whale of a job. And they have caused a couple of 4th down turnovers as well. Marcantoni out of the shotgun. And he will hand it off right-hand side. And a modest gain of around 2 or 3 on the play past the 22 to the 23-yard line goes Bradley Dent. Steve, we've seen a little bit more out of, though, Cannell Hodges. We haven't seen him much here in the second half, but he had a nice performance in the first half of play, and we'll see. Maybe he's being saved for the fourth quarter. Right now, Cardinals don't need to be saving anything. They trail 27-0 as we go on to the fourth quarter. At the last play of the third on that run by Dent. It's 2nd and 6 at their own 24-yard line coming up here for the Del Valle Cardinals against the Bowie Bulldogs. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is home of the classic Texas burger. Make it just how you'd like, red, yellow, or white. Add fresh cut, crinkle cut fries. And don't forget the shake. Since the first location opened, quality has been everything. Mighty Fine's premium Texas-style burger is always made from 100% all-natural premium beef. Stop by any one of our 6 locations across Austin for your favorite burger, or to try our newest Burger and Shake of the Month.
27-0. That's the lead for the Bowie Bulldogs on the road against the Del Valle Cardinals. And Bowie looking to stay undefeated on the road this season. 2-0 coming in after opening up the year on back-to-back games in non-district play at Manor and at Vista Ridge. Right now, Bowie, defense and offense getting the job done.
Yeah, and I tell you, great pass break-up, I should say, by Campbell. Cody Campbell, 29.
Okay, so Bowie on defense, Del Valle on a third down, passing it and unable to get the job done. Campbell on the coverage.
What you said.
Now that brings up third down. So it's 3rd and 6. 2nd and 6 from their own 23. Makes it 3rd and 6. Play clock all the way down to 5. Marcantoni now with pressure from his right, throws left-hand side, incomplete. Had to get rid of that ball a lot earlier than he wanted to. Meeks, the intended receiver.
T. Harina screaming.
Boy, nice to see him along with Sean Doherty, 13, coming in.
And
so that brings up a 4th and 6 on your own 23. You start out the fourth quarter, you're down 27-0. Do you go for it? No. Del Valle's going to punt it away.
Yeah, that's the wise thing. You got to try to see if you can at least get this ball past midfield if you're Del Valle and play some defense. Right there, great 3 and out after conclusion of the third quarter. And start of the fourth, forcing Del Valle and player coming on late.
Always now a late substitution coming in on special teams for Del Valle. Ponce to kick it away to his own 10-yard line. Flags fly. Actually, the delay a game again. That's a third delay game for Del Valle. And, Steve, are they going to try to fake it again?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Trying to get in the head of Bowie.
Well, right now you're playing.
Drangy now will cook midfield, but the punting
safe.
situation for Del Valle has been, circus-esque. Here is it. Ponce get it away. He does. Nice coverage. Here's Drangy fielding at his own 45-yard line, far side sideline, stays on his feet. Boy, did he have a good return.
Flag.
That'll be bounced out of bounds, and they're going to get a flag at the very end of that. And I don't know. It might be against Bowie.
It is, because there was no need to touch the defender. And the coaching staff coaching immediately, saying, you don't touch him.
I see Coach Perdue really getting into a player or two. I'm not going to point out anybody. This flag at the 31-yard line on the far side of the field for a hold or an illegal block, which wiped out a great return by Drangy.
Yeah, you don't have.
So as it stands, Steve, it's a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of Del Valle, but this will be brought back.
Yes. Here you go. That call.
Which was?
I have no idea. I've never seen you
seen
grab the watch.
Yeah.
And look like it was like the
that's
hula.
Why I pointed at you, because
I know you pointed at me.
I couldn't
Put
see
me on
what
the
he
spot.
did, and
it was like
I thought, what is that?
It was like
I have to
it's a
imagine
15-yard penalty.
It's
though.
a 15-yard penalty, which would be so if it's a holding call, it's a spot foul. And if it's an illegal block in the back, then you also have that to consider. But we didn't see any of those motions on that last.
No, that was a new one.
Nonetheless, it's at the 46-yard line of Del Valle, 1st and 10. Handoff, right-hand side. We now have some different players coming in here for Bowie. And now Julius Silva, who has looked very good in these moments of games. This is the earliest I think you've seen him come into a game for the majority of the season. And he has a nice run, about 4 yards. It's now 2nd and 6. The majority of the rest of the starting group is still out there for Bowie, including Cruz Tello. So Tello with Silva to his right-hand side. Will hand it up. No, he'll keep it. Tello act like he was going to pass it. Now he'll run upfield, past the 30, and he lowers the right shoulder to the 25-yard line. Please do not get hurt. Gets all the way to the 26. Now move the chains. Oof.
Cruz Tello, a pretty durable guy.
He is.
So.
But everybody else staying out there. So the starting group here for Bowie is on the field. And Silva getting some starting reps, so to speak.
Well, this is
smart. Now we have some shuffling out. It's 1st and 10 at the 26 of Del Valle. Silva stays in. In motion now. Willie to be the up block. And now here's Silva again. Sprints to the 25, 15, 10. And he's brought down around the 7-yard line. Make it the 6 possibly. But Julius Silva, the junior running back, who averaged 7.2 yards per carry, although towards mop-up duty, you would classify it. Nice carry.
Yeah, he's got some jets. I like the fact that he didn't.
He's got some speed on him, right?
Yes. I think that's what I said.
You said jets. I just want to make sure everybody heard it. Wells out left-hand side. He's your lone receiver there, Steve. No, actually, out right-hand side, you have Langdon. Watch out for him. It'll be Silva again. He's at the 5, and he'll go into the end zone for the score. Touchdown from 7 yards out for Silva. So he is the first Bulldog to get into the end zone in this game that's not named Montabella or Tello.
That was a nice little juke and run by Silva. Got into the defensive second level, those linebackers, and just cut left after taking the ball through the B gap on the right side between the guard and tackle. He just cut inside and then right into the north end zone. Not a problem for the junior.
Bowie's not going to chase points here. They're going to go for the is back. The extra point is up, and it is good. And now we'll make it 34-0 after that last scamper by Silva with 9:39 left. Bowie leading Del Valle here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Again, 34-0. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is home of the classic Texas burger. Make it just how you'd like, red, yellow, or white. Add fresh cut, crinkle cut fries. And don't forget the shake. Since the first location opened, quality has been everything. Mighty Fine's premium Texas-style burger is always made from 100% all-natural premium beef. Stop by any one of our 6 locations across Austin for your favorite burger, or to try our newest Burger and Shake of the Month.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
Julius Silva getting in the mix, his second rushing score of his career. And this season, by the way, from 7 yards out, give the Bowie Bulldogs a commanding 34-0 lead on the road against Del Valle and the Cardinals with 9:39 left in the fourth quarter of play. Dee Hanson joined by Steve Foster. Steve, I have no doubt that you're enjoying the fact that all of these scores have been on the ground rushing the football.
Me likes the rushing touchdown. I think I'm going to call him Julius Caesar Silva.
Well,
all hail Caesar on that last 7-yard touchdown run. Hey, give him some credit. You know, that's my group. That's my group.
Be careful of the monikers you give, because we've had pushback on those ever so often. Just letting you know. You might want to check back. But I like it. I like it.
Okay.
9:39 left. 1 on the play clock, and now Drangy will kick it away from his own 40-yard line going right to left. And Del Valle's been able to return all the kicks here tonight. And they have some electric players, and this is no different. Hayward, who brings it all the way from the near side to the far side sideline and gets wrangled down. That was very close to being not a horse collar, but one that might be out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, make it the 30, but still good coverage downfield. The special teams for Bowie has been tested tonight against some, like I said, some speedy returners for Del Valle, and have got the job done.
Yeah, because last week I think there were a couple of holes. Well, they got filled this Friday.
Somebody said something to somebody. Shotgun Marco Tony, and then he'll hand it off, and a clean handoff, but a bad return or run makes it only about a 1-yard gain up the middle. Bad for Del Valle, great for the interior D for the Bowie defensive front. And Merrill Hinyon, the sophomore defensive lineman, making the stop, number 99.
Looks good.
I haven't said his name much this season. I'm sorry for this.
He's been out.
Stumbling
he
out
was
there.
in street clothes last week. I remember seeing him. Not tonight.
Under 9 to go. Only a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. Delmark inching in. He's on defense now. And Mark Antoni is going to lob it left-hand side, incomplete. Nunez, the intended receiver. And he was well covered around the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs, is where that would have been marked by Ryan Cormier. And that brings up a 3rd and 9 for the Cardinals, who have now, I mean, you're down 34-0. You've resigned to the fact that you're doing something you're not normally accustomed to, which is throwing the football down the field.
Yes. You're going to have to do something. Get on the board. You can throw the ball to your running backs out in space.
Get the 0 off. Trips right-hand side, nothing left-hand side. Bobbled snap. Mark Antoni will lob it to the right-hand side, and it will be caught, I believe, at the 49. How did Douglas get underneath that? I thought it hit the ground and came back up to him, but it did not. And he was able to get underneath that. And now, we have a holding call, I believe. There's a flag on the play.
Oh, it may have been a shift, too.
Or that. One of the two. There's a flag.
The linesman.
And we're all coming back. I mean, I saw the air come out of Douglas's face with my binoculars. Like, why is he upset? Motion against Del Valle. Oh, my goodness.
Line judge here, near side at the 30-yard line. Said, no can do.
Well, it's 3rd and 9, which would have been a first down at around the 44. is all wiped out and thrown out with the kitchen sink. Have a 5-yard penalty assessed. Makes it 3rd and 14 at their own 26-yard line for Del Valle. Clock runs with 8 minutes to go. Down 34-0 to Bowie. Got 2 split each side. Back to pass Marconi. Goes middle of the field and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. A little bit behind him in Douglas. He also had an opportunity of a possible interception, but that ball was thrown so hard and behind the intended receiver. I don't know, even if Douglas was able to get his hands on that, would he be able to hold on to it? Not a lot of touch on that ball. And no reason for it because Douglas was open.
Well, it does take some touch.
It does.
You just can't throw darts.
I'm just saying to give the guy some space on a 3rd down. He might not get the first down, but it gets you a lot closer to that first down marker. It's now 4th and 14, and Del Valle will punt it away. Ponce back at his own 13. Rugby styles this one. Line driver hits at the 41-yard line over the head of Drangy. He should let that one go. Did it touch him? It might have.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it did either.
I don't think so.
And they're going to mark it at the 31-yard line, and it was picked up by the special teams coverage unit and Kenneth Hunt, who said he
I think they are giving him the ball, but he can't advance it?
You can't. That's possible.
Let's see. I think that's right. If it's their ball being Del Valle's ball, it did. Yep, they're going to give it.
They are giving it to Del Valle in a really strange circumstance at the end of that one.
I don't think it touched.
Well, if it didn't, it's not a kickoff. So if you let it go, then
right. But so they're saying
the inclination.
They're
saying it touched it.
Correct.
You just can't advance it. So now Del Valle all of a sudden has the ball, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line of the Bulldogs as we get all settled finally, and a handoff to the edge, left-hand side. Ball's loose, and Bowie has an opportunity to get on top of this one on a turnover of their own. Let's see if they did it. There's a scrum for it at the 31. Officials say it stays with Del Valle. It's 2nd and 10 coming up. Oh, man, that would have been huge. Cardinals trying to get that 0 off the board. Joel Jordan with the carry. Lost the football. But Del Valle able to get on top of it. It's 2nd and 10. What a strange circumstance on special teams. Haven't seen that very often. Nunez goes out left-hand side, 2 receivers out right-hand side. And now we have all kinds of problems as there's a 0 on the play clock, and Del Valle's forced to take a timeout, and that to avert their 4th delay of game of the game with 7 minutes to go. There is visible frustration by the players of Del Valle trying to understand why they can't get things on track from a tempo standpoint.
Well,
and that's what this is.
A couple
you get the
things.
play in, you call the game. Yeah.
It's a couple things, right? Bowie has been pressuring this offense all night. No real rhythm to get into.
Yeah.
And
Good point.
And so
excellent.
It's almost like they see 12 or 13 players out there for defense, even though some of the guys now in Bowie's defense are second teamers.
Meeks and Nunez out right-hand side. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a run on the football here by the football, Del Valle. Inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. A little shoving at the end of that one. And I had mentioned it before. We're going to go to the well here as it's Hodges with the carry. And he can bring it. It's 3rd down and 6 from the 27 for the Cardinals, who down 34-0. But looking for their first score of the game. Here's Mark Antoni, throws it out right-hand side, finds Douglas in some space at the 31, wrapped around, and then stays on his feet somehow. Near side sideline, stays to the 15, and finally brought down at the 12-yard line. I don't know how he didn't go out of bounds somehow.
Well,
but he was able to stay inbounds on the near side sideline before Ron Cormier finally brought him down. There's a flag on the play. You see it?
Back.
Where is it, Steve?
At
it's
the
at
20.
The 19.
The 19.
towards the latter part of the run.
And that's going to be unfortunate.
It will, because it's a holding call against Del Valle. My goodness.
Block in the back, your favorite call.
They cannot catch a break.
Well, you got to be smart. When you have a playmaker with the ball in his hands, don't touch the defenders. We don't want you to do that. We don't need you to do that. Now the ball comes back.
What
Foul.
do you think Douglas is saying to his teammates? Just let me do my thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you did that on occasion.
I'd be like, fellas, I'm like, D.
Yep.
D.
Bring it back to the 31-yard line.
The slot
It's
receiver,
3rd and
D.
10.
Hansen, with the push in the back, negating my 30-yard run.
It's going to happen again.
Okay.
2 receivers to the left, to the right. Here's Mark Antoni looking left-hand side, throws it that way, and it will be dropped. So well-timed and just at the knees of Meeks and behind him. So I'm telling
Meeks
you,
was too fast.
Meeks was wide open.
Too fast for the ball.
Had he catch that in stride, he's in for the touchdown. And these are the misses that Del Valle has had all season, which have given them the 3 losses. They're not that far off from being where they would like to be. Back to pass on a 4th and 10. Mark Antoni going to the right corner of the end zone, around 2 yards behind there, intended for Douglas. And it goes over his head, incomplete. And valiant effort by the Cardinals on that last drive. And I got to give a lot of credit on the play calling, Steve. They went for it.
Oh, they needed to go for it.
They just could not get the timing they needed to from Mark Antoni and these receivers. They're 5 games in. They got to figure it out because they have some tools to work with here.
Well, you got to give your guy, being the quarterback, time to, get back in the pocket and pass. And even
a lot of credit to the Bowie defense, but Mark Antoni had an opportunity there on the completion. New quarterback in here for the Bulldogs. It'll be a handoff up the middle. And you know what? Just hold on to the football.
Right.
And that is Silva on the carry. And for the Bulldogs, they will have Brady Lamb in, who had a nice glimpse into varsity play for the first time last week against Lake Travis. And he will be under center. And now it's 2nd down and around 5 to go for Bowie. Around 5 to go in the game. And it'll be a keeper by Lamb. He's in trouble. Lowers the left shoulder, gets past the defender, and maybe will gain a yard at the most on the near side hash. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 4 to go here for the Bulldogs. And that, more importantly, stays inbounds and runs the clock.
Good run coming near side. If he may have tried to do the 400 hurdles, he may have gotten past the near side corner.
Yeah.
But stayed in bounds. I like it. Take it to the defense.
DJ Nunez, the corner, tripping up Lamb. Silva stays in at running back, left-hand side of the shotgun with Lamb. And it'll be a handoff. Silva sprints past the 40, 45, and he gets midfield and into Del Valle territory at the 48-yard line. And, Steve, you're right. Once he finds that hole, boy, does he have some jets to get through there.
He sure does.
He is not slow.
No, and I like the momentary patience to figure out where he's going to get that quick burst. And nothing wrong with these runs from Julius Silva.
Well, wouldn't it be apropos if Bowie could close this game out on the clock on the ground, because they've done all of their damage running the football, along with some Owen Langdon spectacular catches. Bobbled handoff by Lamb to Silva, which did not happen, by the way. Lamb got back on top of it, and he'll lose yards back to the 46, a loss of 5 on the miscommunication on the exchange, makes it 2nd down and around 15.
I think Brady Lamb wanted to keep that ball, and I think Silva had clamped down trying to get going.
Tell people what the proper
You can't
idea is on
you,
that.
you cannot take the ball from the quarterback. They
Either
have to.
He did
they
thrust
have to-
it into your chest.
But they have to hold it there
Okay.
for you before you go.
Delmark's back in at running back now, and he will join Lamb in the shotgun to his left. Two receivers out right-hand side, one left-hand side, and now we have a motion call against Bowie. To their credit, have a lot of subs in the game who have not probably developed that level of chemistry you normally see on the field. Still don't want to see it, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
And not the penalties, at least. Now here's Lamb, who landed off to Delmark, right-hand side, breaks it back into the 40, 45. Right-hand side gets slung down around the 49-yard line, near midfield and near the original line of scrimmage. And that brings up third and around almost 13 to go here for Bowie. But more importantly, trying to move the clock down as much as they can with 2:25 left and just call this a night.
What about 2 run plays and see if you can pick up a first down?
That's fine. Lamb out of the shotgun again. In motion out flat to the left-hand side is Delmark. The route right-hand side is caught at midfield. Spinning around is Lange. And he'll get to the line of scrimmage inside there and will gain another yard. There's flags on the end of that play. Lange slow to get up.
They blew up the
And
umpire.
that's going to be fourth and around 9 to go here for the Bulldogs. So there's no flag.
No,
Okay.
the umpire got blown up. He was
Okay.
laying on his
Well,
back, and I
when
thought
you do that, I automatically assume there's a flag.
you do.
Yeah.
And that is correct.
So, but nonetheless, that did not free up anybody. The umpire did.
no, but it's
because
just that's unusual.
It is unusual.
See him looking up at the night
It's fourth
sky.
and 9, though. But Steve, you feel like Bowie
4th and
should go
10.
ahead and. Okay, 4th and 10. This is 4th and 9 there. I thought he gained another yard on the.
Well,
thing.
yeah, I
but
think it
nonetheless,
could
we
be-
can argue about that. Or what should Bowie do?
Punt.
Okay. And they moved it back actually to the 48.
You're right.
Originally, it was at the 47. Far side hash. Timeout taken on the field.
Yes.
With 1:38 left. You don't want to.
They had to get the umpire back.
Got to figure that out.
He was looking up at the night sky, friends. They had to come check on him.
Bowie now on their way to winning this game,
Yes.
which more importantly gets them a district win.
Correct.
And you got to take them where you can get them.
Yes.
And one of the more difficult districts in the state of Texas, when you factor in Dripping Springs, which is hovering around the top 25 in the state. Number 12, Westlake. Number 7, Lake Travis. Bowie's going to go ahead and punt it away with a 4th and 9. And we have all kinds of difference of special teams players as well. Ron Cormier will punt it. And he will line drive this one straight away. Hits at the 21-yard line. Takes a Bowie bounce. And will go into Del Valle's hands. And they're going to usher the receiver all the way back until forward progress at some point is stopped. And one of my favorite names on the roster, Cyree Baltimore, on the attempt on the return,
I like that.
will be stopped. Now we have both teams coming off the field. Can we just finish the game, please? 1:23 left, and it's still 4th and 9 on the scoreboard, which is wrong. It's 4th and 10. And now the official coming out to explain what's going on because we can't hear him, why we have both teams off the field. With no indication by arms, which is usually helpful for people that can't.
Oh, there's a flag on the far
There is a
side.
flag, but I don't know what it's for.
No idea.
I saw the flag.
No idea.
Man alive.
Here we go.
Motion against Bowie.
So you're going to kick it again.
Okay, that's fine. That didn't take very long. Well, you have to ask Patman whether he wants to, I guess, accept the penalty.
Right. It was a good kick and a great
It was.
coverage.
Cormier had a nice kick.
Yes. So.
And all in all, for the most part, the special teams, especially in punting the football, have been on point for Bowie tonight. Here's Cormier again. Modest pressure, gets it away. High end but short kick, hits the 35-yard line, takes another good Bowie bounce, and then bounces back for the Cardinal. I think it hit a Cardinal. They're going to say it's still touched by Bowie. You know, I'm fine with that at the 30-yard line. And that gets now the Cardinals out on the field with 1:08 left in the game, down 34-0. Nonetheless, Bowie should, again, win this game, go to 5-1 in the season, 1-1 in district play, and 3-0 away from Berger. And most importantly, Steve, like I said before, even their district mark at 1-1.
Right. There's no way that Bowie loses this game.
And Del Valle really gets a respite because they only have to go to Cavalier Stadium to take on the Lake Travis Cavaliers next week before their open date. Trips right-hand side. Mark Antoni is in a quarterback, and he floats it on a screen out far left-hand side. It's complete. Upfield past the 45 to midfield.
Good play.
On that play. And Cardinals are getting a few other players involved. Demetrius Carter on the reception. It's 1st and 10 with under a minute to go. Mark Antoni back to pass again. Steps up in the pocket, but brought down from behind at the 45. Flags come in. Not until the sack is registered. That from Hinyon. And now we'll bring up what should be a 2nd and 15 and a penalty and a holding call against the Cardinals. We'll see. Holding against the Cardinals declined.
Took away the sack, though.
That's what I'm saying. It should have been declined.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
Okay, well, it's not declined. You bring him back on the 10-yard penalty.
They want
49 seconds to go, 43 seconds to go.
It's a better way
Yes.
to keep more yards away
Sure.
from if you're trying to preserve a goose egg.
I mean, come on.
I'm
Let's give
just
Hinton,
saying.
the sophomore, the sack.
Do it again, Hinton.
He can. He's been active so far whenever he's been in the game. Back
There
to
he
pass.
There
Here he
goes.
comes on the edge. And it's floated out. I didn't see any receivers in that area.
Number 7.
Okay.
Blanketed, though, by double coverage.
No. Limited by my binoculars because I only saw it in the 5-yard realm. Mark Antoni has had a pocket to throw in many times in this game. So still brings up a 2nd and 20 for Del Valle. With 35.9 seconds to go, we are that much closer to ending this game. My goodness. Trips right-hand side, one out left. Low snap back. Mark Antoni will float out right-hand side. Caught near side. The 35-40. Staying on his feet past the 45 near midfield on the return or pitch and catch. That to Carter again. Clock stops at 21.2 seconds. And, of course, timeout taken by Del Valle. They, I think, have one remaining. Yep.
They'll probably use it, too.
That's fine.
Just so you know.
We got teaching moments going on. Del Valle on their way to their 3rd loss of the season. Excuse me, their 4th loss, 3rd straight loss. That makes their mark now to 2-4 on the year, 0-2 in district play, and 1-2 here at home. We had no other streaks in the loss column coming into district play tonight. When I say streaks, you have to have 2 or more losses. Bowie and Aikens have both coming off of losses, but that's not a streak.
No, it is not.
20 seconds to go. Marconi back to pass. Flings it right-hand side. Incomplete at the 41-yard line. Intended for Nunez. 41 of Bowie. That would have been a first down of 11 yards. And that stops the clock at 15.8. And it's 4th and 10 from their own 48-yard line for Del Valle. Bowie happy to get some momentum back on their side before they host the Dripping Springs Tigers, who went 12-3 last season, 11-3, excuse me. We'll host them on the 11th of next week. In motion is Douglas from right to left. You have trips to the left-hand side, empty backfield. Low snap, here's Mark Antoni. And whistles. Please. Delay of game again here for Del Valle. I didn't even notice that one at that time.
You didn't want to notice that.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Is that the 5th of the game? It's the 5th. I don't know if I normally keep track of
I was going to ask you about that.
those. Somehow, subconsciously, I am. And I don't want to. It's like a bad song. Wormhole. Here's Mark Antoni, throws it out right-hand side. Caught. Douglas has at the 48-yard line of Bowie. That should be the final play of the game, as he was not able to get a first down at the 46-yard line of the Bulldogs, and it will do it. Final score here from Veterans Stadium. The Bowie Bulldogs with a 34-0 win against Del Valle. They have now, in 15 tries, beaten Del Valle 15 times with a 15-0 record in the series. Most importantly, now 1-1 in district play and 5-1 overall. With the victory, Jeff Abels off of the 155 wins in his career, now 156 victories as the head coach of the Bulldogs. And Todd Patman falls to 3-13 as the head coach of Del Valle. You can see where some strides have been made, though, for the Cardinals after the win here by Bowie, which was predominantly dictated by the run game and the defense for the Bulldogs. Del Valle is clearly better than they were last year.
Yes, they were. And yes, they are. And, you know, again, you have to be consistent.
Mighty Fine Burgers, fries.
Or we can just go to Mighty Fine Burgers and we'll just...
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
All right. No, the Cardinals have attempted to improve the culture, make winning not just a priority, but something that they look forward to doing each week. And you have to have some level of expectation of win to get over the hump.
Yep.
And so I think that is coming around. I think they'll win a couple more games possibly. But next week going to be real tough. So, you know, you're going to have to go back to the film study room. You're going to have a heck of an effort next week on the road. However, they played better than last year, as you mentioned, and I agree.
That is the first shutout registered by the Bowie defense this season. It's also the first time that the Cardinals have been shut out this year. They came close to it last week against Austin High with only the 6 points on the board. But tonight they are here at home against the Bowie Bulldogs. And it gets that much harder, though, for Del Valle to make it to the playoffs, and something that they have not been able to do in quite a bit of time. The last time they won over 3 games in a season was 2019, and the last time they made the playoffs back in 2016. So vying for that with a much improved squad, but could not get it done here this evening against the Bowie Bulldogs, falling again 34-0. We'll take a break. We'll close things out here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is home of the classic Texas burger. Make it just how you'd like, red, yellow, or white. Add fresh cut, crinkle cut fries. And don't forget the shake. Since the first location opened, quality has been everything. Mighty Fine's premium Texas-style burger is always made from 100% all-natural premium beef. Stop by any one of our 6 locations across Austin for your favorite burger, or to try our newest burger and shake of the month.
Bulldogs still looking at the visitors' side with the full line of white-clad jerseys, Steve, and a nice bounce-back effort after a tough loss, 44-6 last week against Lake Travis. able to get a goose egg on the board. Most importantly, I would imagine, from the defensive side of things, 34-0 here against Del Valle. And you also look at the offense. Yes, they got some heroic catches by Owen Langdon and some heady plays by Cruz Tella, both passing and running the football. But Kaysen Matabella really put a stranglehold on this game with 3 rushing scores. Throw in a little bit of the junior tailback and Silva at the back end of the game, able to clamp things down and go in for 6 as well. The rushing attack for Bowie in full effect.
Yeah, absolutely, and that means the offensive line was on their game tonight, opening up massive rushing lanes for multiple backs and quarterback for Bowie this evening, and most of that damage against the Del Valle Cardinals done on the ground.
What'd you like most out of Del Valle first? I mean, they have some things to work with here. Coach Patman has them going in the right direction.
Well, I think, the culture that Del Valle is getting, the belief factor going higher and higher each opportunity you can see, because they are playing better team football and, making their opponents work to get a victory each time they play them.
You see this more often on away games than you do home games, Steve, but Coach Abel's out there with the cap off and getting his troops rallied a bit around a pretty nice win on the road, but somewhat business as usual going in here, as the Bulldogs have some moments here to really look at. Mason East had a great game. Nice to see Tijerina back in the mix. He made some plays as well. We also saw some heady play when things got desperate for Del Valle and throwing the ball down the field. You had Trammell Banks able to make some defensive plays, both stopping the run and on coverage. Some encouraging remarks, I'm sure, from Coach Abels, but what did you see out of this defense across the board also for Bowie that encourages you?
All 3 levels of the defense, that defensive line, the linebackers, the primary tacklers, and then the coverage guys, that 3rd level, all contributing mightily and keeping the Del Valle Cardinals off the scoreboard and out of the end zone.
Well, you never want to look past what is in front of you, and that a win here for Bowie. They can relish that at least for tonight, but looking forward, they will have a huge matchup against the Tigers. The Dripping Springs, a team that has handled them pretty easily the last couple of times. They've only faced each other twice, but the Tigers had a bit of a mix-up with Bowie the first half of last game out, and then really clamped things down and had a whale of a second half to distance themselves. Although Dripping Springs come into this season now, not quite on the same level as they've been in the past, but still a very, very good football team. What to look forward to next week?
Oh, I think this one is going to be a main event attraction, because I think these teams are more equal than they are unequal this season.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that, and that will do it for us here tonight. The Bowie now continues district play with the first of their last 2 home games left in the regular season when they host the Dripping Springs Tigers next week. These teams have played twice. Like I said, both last 2 seasons with the Tigers handling their business in a rather convincing fashion with wins of 55-7 and 49-12. Last season, Bowie only trailed by 2 at half, 14-12, but then Drip posted 21 in the third and took over from then on. The Bulldogs will see if they can put things together for a full 4 quarters next week. We'll have that contest for you live from Burger Stadium next Friday night, starting at 7:15 with the pregame, leading you up to that 7:30 kickoff, streaming here along the Vype Live network. And our final score from Veteran Stadium, the Bowie Bulldogs 34 and the Del Valle Cardinals nothing. From our on-site engineer and producer JC DeLeon and my broadcast partner Steve Foster, I'm Dee Hansen. From all of us here, have a great night.